Hi, Brandy. How are you
Hi,
today?
I am fine, Bruce. How are you today?
I am good today. Thank you for asking.
You are very welcome.
Look at you. You're so festive with all the little ribbons in your hair.
Yeah, it's my thing.
It's your thing.
It's my
Do what you
thing. I
want to
do it.
do.
I I do it every year, starting the day after Thanksgiving and going through Christmas Day.
I know it's exciting that we're about to hit Christmas in a couple weeks. And I'm just like freaking out about Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker coming out next week. That's like what I'm really focused on. So, it's like, ooh, this is going to be exciting few weeks, you know?
Yes, it will be. And at the time that we are going, which is 8:40 a.m. on Saturday, I will be
Oh,
on my 11-day vacation.
oh, that's nice.
Yes.
Vacation sounds really good.
Yeah, I'm not going anywhere. It's just I'm not working
Oh, okay.
and and
Well,
I'm still
that's
getting paid.
well, yeah, that's good. I mean, even if you're not going anywhere, just to be away from work, I'm not taking that much time off. I'm taking like a few days here, a few days there, whatever. Some like have work intermingled in throughout. I don't know. We'll see how that goes, how I feel about it. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah. So, everyone,
Yeah.
thank you for joining us here on Live from the Edge. This is episode number 36. And this is an interesting Live from the Edge because it'll be the first time ever that we've done this where we're reviewing two episodes.
Yes,
So,
indeed.
yes. So, again, we always do these shows usually the night after a Discovery episode premieres. But with short treks, we usually do it the night of. But I had a conflict. And plus, since there were two episodes, we decided to do it the night after. And those two episodes are The Girl Who Made the Stars and Ephraim and Dot. So, Brandy Jacola, thank you for joining us on the live show as you always do.
Bruce Gibson, thank you for having me on the live show, as you always do.
And thanks for everyone in the chat. We're looking at the clock and we're getting ready to go. And we're like, gosh, there aren't that many people and not much is happening. And now in the last 2 minutes, I look down and there's all kinds of activity. So everyone's like got in here and going crazy. So that's wonderful. We love seeing that. So we're going to start with The Girl Who Made the Stars. That is the one that they show as being the next episode in short treks and I guess production or release order, even though these two came out at the same time. So initial thoughts, Brandy, on this episode.
Well, I was super excited that Kendrick Green got to be daddy again. That made
Yeah.
me happy.
Now, Kendrick Green is the husband of Sonequa Martin Green, who plays Michael Burnham.
Yes.
And here he plays Michael Burnham's father,
Yep.
even though in real life that's her husband.
Yep. Acting.
Exactly.
It happened.
Yes, it does. Yeah, that was nice to see. So when I saw him, I don't know what your thought is, but you notice he's wearing a Starfleet uniform. And I thought it looks a lot like the uniforms they wore in Star Trek 09 on the USS Kelvin. Similar, but not quite, because I went and I did compare photos from Star Trek 09, those uniforms, to this one, and not quite the same, but there's some similarity a little bit to them. And it made me wonder if they kind of did that on purpose because it would take place in that same time frame. Because even though at the beginning of that movie, when we see the USS Kelvin, that is that does exist in the Prime universe.
Yes.
So those uniforms exist in the Prime universe.
Yes.
So that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm laying down right now.
I'm picking up on what you're putting down.
It's all about the uniforms.
All about the uniforms. I'll be honest, I didn't pay that much attention to it. It wasn't in the forefront of my attention at all.
Yeah. I don't know why it wasn't me. I just remember looking at the uniform going, oh, that's different. Wait, that kind of looks a little familiar to me. I wonder if, but it's not, but close. It definitely kind of fits in with that. So what'd you think of the animated style of this short treks?
I liked it. I have a affinity for animation in all of its forms, and there are very few styles that I don't like. In fact, I couldn't even bring one to mind right at the moment of one that I don't like. So I did like the style of it. I really loved certain little details, like the fact that she had a stuffed tardigrade that she was sleeping with.
Yeah. That
That
was a little odd to me.
I just thought, okay, is that just a reference or because I mean, obviously they knew tardigrades existed
Right.
because we know tardigrades exist.
Yes.
Just, I think they're cute, makes a good plushie. It works for me, but oh, Chris Littlefield is saying Rick and Morty. It's not the animation style that I have a problem with in Rick and Morty. Um, it's the fact that Morty uh excuse me. No, I'm just not even gonna go there. It's not the animation style. That's not the problem. My problem with Rick and Morty. So, but yeah, I actually enjoyed the animation style. I loved the hair on young Michael. It was very beautifully detailed,
Mm.
and there was a lot of. I like the way it was shaded too. Both the treks, both the short treks. I'm having trouble speaking English tonight. That does not bode well. Both of the short treks I really enjoyed the shading and the representation of shapes as well as the actual moving bits. So
Gotcha. I didn't pay that much attention to the hair. You didn't pay that much attention to the uniform.
well, hair is hard. Hair is really hard.
Oh, it is. Yeah, especially in animation. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I see some comments in here like Polar Express type animation.
Mm. Yeah. I've never seen Polar Express. I've just seen the trailers, so
I can't. Polar Express is weird to me. They got this kid in there. His voice, it annoys me. He's got, I don't know, he's got glasses and I think freckles or something. And he talks like this. And anytime my kids play that movie, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't stand the voice. I have to leave the room. I don't know. It's just, anyway, it has nothing to do with this. Rugrats. Yes, that's another one, David. Yes, exactly. That's another animation type thing we can do here.
yeah, I didn't ever watch it, so I don't count it. So basically, I can only dislike the animation styles of stuff that I've watched.
Understood.
That's my rule. It's my rule.
Well, because when you want to turn down the lights, you say aluminum, right? Like little Michael says, no, it's illuminate. Or
that was adorable.
Wouldn't it be funny in an episode Discovery, Michael actually like goes into a room and says aluminum. I'm sorry, illuminate.
That would be the most adorable thing. And it would fill my heart with joy. I enjoyed that.
Yeah. So this episode, the girl who made the stars is actually referenced. That story is referenced in the season 2 premiere of Brother.
It is.
So there is a tie-in to that. So I remember seeing a preview of this short tracks and thinking, oh yeah, that's that story that was Michael referred to in Brother. That's so cool. We're going to see that. So, and it takes place 1,000 centuries ago in Africa. The music starts and stuff, and we see the sky, and it's got the sun, which they worship. But then at night there are no stars, so it's completely dark, and they have fear. They are scared of the dark, just like little Michael is scared of the dark when it's bedtime with her tardigrade.
Where was the moon?
Oh, that's a good question. Maybe it didn't exist then.
Okay, sure. Let's go with that.
I don't know. That's a good question, because if the moon was there, the moon does reflect some light when it's out at night. And so they would have that. Maybe it just wasn't enough light. Okay. Or maybe when the moon's not out at night, that's when they're really freaking out. It's when the moon's there that they freak out less. It's called less moon freak is what they refer to it as.
Okay. I'll go with that.
So, but you know, when night comes, that is when the night beast comes.
And of course, it would be a big sneak.
Yes, and it's their fear about and they're known as the first persons, the first people, whatever. They're first at something. They're the first
first
to fear,
people.
the first people, and they forbid any of the first people to travel at night. Well, yeah, why would you? You don't have headlights. You have no stars to light your way. You don't want to travel at night. You would trip all over yourself, wouldn't you?
Yeah, well, have they figured out torches yet? So maybe they don't have torches.
That's a good.
So,
yeah, do we ever see them with a fire in their village? We don't, do we? Or I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I'm glad they didn't do that because that would be like, wait, they had fire. Why didn't they use it?
You would think that they had fire at that point, wouldn't you?
I mean, they don't know how to start fire. I watch Survivor. They don't always know how to start fire on there.
Mm.
They don't have a flint. Jeff's not there to go, here's a flint, guys, and go at it.
I'm sorry. I'm just thinking of an entire Eddie Izzard routine about the creation of fire, and it's hilarious. And there's a guy in it who's named Jeff, who's going to call it after himself. I'm going to call it Jeff. So now Jeff is synonymous with fire for me.
Jeff Fire.
just I'm going to call it Jeff.
Jeff Fire. Jeff.
Yeah, and that was pretty much the joke. Jeff Fire, come in here and eat your salad, because they couldn't cook things, so they had salad for dinner. Okay, anyway, love it.
I'm just impressed with Automated Joy's comment because it's as bad as jokes that I say, and which is she said, Automated Joy says, if there was a moon, then it would have been a Luna tune.
Yes, that was very good. Oh, and Chrissy, I also believe that Jeff is also the god of biscuits. So we're having she's an Eddie Izzard fan, so we're having a conversation.
Oh yeah, okay.
Biscuits are different in England. They are. Basically, biscuits are hard cookies. That's what they are.
Okay, thank you for that.
And biscuits here are very different. Biscuits here are what they would call scones. Or muffins.
Right. I know. Yes, because in England, biscuits are more like cookies. Here in the United States, unless like Oreos over there, they will call them cookies because they're round with I don't know. Anyway.
Tangent City tonight.
Well, because you don't say in England, you don't say, I'm gonna have a chocolate chip biscuit. There's still cookies, but
no, they have cookies, but cookies are soft. Biscuits are hard.
Well, Oreos
biscuits are like shortbread cookies,
Yes,
that sort of thing.
Like when I fly Delta, they have the Biscoff, and they say they're cookies, but it drives me crazy because I'm really wanting to say no, they're biscuits.
They are biscuits by English standards.
Why are we doing this show? My gosh,
it's my fault. It's all my fault.
I'm gonna get all serious now and get us on track. Okay, like we're. Okay, so the chat's weighing in on biscuits and cookies now. So, Brandy,
yes,
what is the lesson that you learned from this episode?
We have nothing to fear but fear itself.
Oh, I like that line. Did you make that up yourself?
I did not.
Okay.
It's a historical quote.
The thing I liked about this episode is because I think it was a reflection of Michael Burnham. She helps to guide people through fear. I'm trying to think. There was a line here. She lifts people up because she is brave.
Yeah.
And I thought that is Michael. She helps to lift, the crew members up because of her bravery and what she has done. And the whole thing about the stars and the light made me also think of the Red Angel because she was a beacon of light in those episodes. So I saw a lot of parallels between Discovery, especially even season 2, and then with this animated short tracks.
Well, yeah, I can totally see that. Well, and the little girl was portrayed as looking like Michael. So,
Right.
basically he was telling her a story and putting her like in the story. So,
Yes,
and I liked
exactly.
that.
I did too. Because because she's really envisioning the story as it's being told to her. So
Yeah.
she's envisioning herself.
Yeah, because it's a story about a little girl in Africa, so she could identify with that.
Yep. No, I thought it was a sweet story. I thought it was. I liked the animation. I thought it was great. I liked the music. There wasn't anything I really didn't like about it.
Yeah, and we got to see a non-humanoid alien life
I
form.
like that. Yes,
Yeah,
I want to
that
see that
was really
again.
nice. Me too. Because you can do that in animation more easily than you can in live action.
Right. Well,
So
they could
yeah,
even make that alien as a CG character in one of the future discoveries or Picard or whatever. I mean,
they could.
you know.
That is very true because they did that with a couple of species of the Zindi in Enterprise. So because the insectoids were totally digital, and so were the aquatics.
Hmm.
So it's possible. It's possible.
Anything's possible.
It is.
I see several things in here that in the chat when I say in here, because it's a room.
It's a room.
There's been some conversations about Michael Burnham's dad and I don't remember from Perpetual Infinity because we saw scenes of her past with her parents. Were they or were they not in Starfleet? He was in. Was he Starfleet? He was Starfleet, but I mean, he wasn't like a Starfleet officer, like a starship officer type, but weren't they connected to Starfleet in some manner? I don't remember.
Well, I don't remember either. I just remember the connection to Section 31,
Okay, yes.
which is
Which
part
kind
of
of,
Starfleet, sort of.
yeah.
So I would say yes, they were probably in Starfleet because but their mission was science and engineering rather than being on a starship. So
Yeah. And even if for some reason they weren't like officially like Starfleet like we think, but a subsection of or whatever, or Section 31, whatever we're saying, this episode takes place before that, so they could have been more involved directly in Starfleet at this point than they were later.
yes,
So that's always possible. Like you said, anything's possible.
possibilities.
Um okay, chat, anything else? What else do we need to say? Because these are short, so there's not like a whole lot to go on, like for hours. Even though we
Really?
could.
Not hours. Not hours. Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was sweet and um I enjoyed the little lightning bug or firefly or whatever you want to call it that was going with her and helping to light the way.
Yeah.
Just nice little things like that. I really loved the moment where the village elder tells her to go play, and she's like, "Oh, come on!" Like, yeah, you say it, girl. Oh, come on, go play.
Yeah. Yeah. And little Michael Burnham's like, that's rude.
It was great. It was a great moment.
So Chrissy in the chat says about she loves the story, but there's a part of her that would like to have seen the character be a Kitty Uhura. Wouldn't be Uhura in there like as the African girl, like a little Uhura been cute too? Because we know she's from Africa, so that would have been
Yes,
cool.
yeah.
So
Yes, that is true.
maybe we'll do another short tracks where she's telling the story.
Sure.
She's singing it.
Well, I understand why they did it with Michael
Well,
because
yeah,
it was her narration at the beginning of season 2
right.
that, introduced us to this story.
Yeah.
So, it makes perfect sense for me
Yeah.
that it's Michael's dad telling her the story.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I agree. But it is kind of a nice thought too. Different characters. You know. Yes, Baby Ahura. Anime choices.
Almost everything is cuter as a baby. Almost everything.
So my wife goes around because we're watching The Mandalorian, and she just randomly says throughout the day, "Baby Yoda," just like that. "Baby Yoda, Baby Yoda." So when we get to this next short tracks, you know, while we're watching it, I shouted out, "Baby tardigrades, baby tardigrades."
Yes.
Yes. So, anything else about this episode before we jump to the next one?
No, I thought it was beautiful. I enjoyed it from start to finish.
I did too. Next one, Ephraim and Dot. I ended up liking this a lot more than I thought I would.
I really enjoyed the way it started, like some old 50s science film,
Right.
educational film like they'd show in school. That tickled me. I really enjoyed that. This one was a bit zany. It was a bit Looney Tunes. Not that that's a problem for me.
No.
So I grew up with Looney Tunes, so that wasn't a problem for me.
It does remind me, like, especially when Ephraim gets sucked into like pipes and boom, boom, boom,
Yep.
boom, you know, I was like, yeah, this is reminding me of that Looney Tunes feel. But okay, here's the thing, and I'm throwing this out to the chat too. Ephraim, the tardigrade. Is this the tardigrade that we've seen in Discovery?
Not necessarily. They do live a long time, but it's not necessarily the same one.
Okay. The reason I ask, I don't know, I'm a little hesitant to mention things here about this, but there's a Discovery novel that comes out, or did it come out? I'm trying to remember now. It came out, didn't it? Dead Endless is what I'm talking about.
I think it comes out next week.
Okay. So let's just say tardigrade there's a part of the tardigrade is addressed in the book. And so that's why I'm kind of like, is this the same one or not? That's all I'm going to say. So anybody who reads the book, because I've already read the book, I got it early because I do Leary Treks, and we've already talked to Dave Gallagher, who's the author of it. But when you guys read it, you'll know what I'm talking about. So I'm just throwing that out there. So yeah, I wouldn't think it's the same tardigrade, because the tardigrade we saw in Discovery is blue. This one's more like green, has multicolors to it, and seems smaller.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't. Well, the tardigrades that we know are microscopic.
Mm-hmm.
So they obviously, in this reality, come in many sizes. That's fine. But yeah, I just because it's a tardigrade that are you being racist? Are you saying all tardigrades look alike? No, I'm just kidding.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
So yeah, I would not think that's the same one, but I guess it all has to do with proportion. And it seemed to me that we didn't really get any proportion with that tardigrade next to a human. I mean, the closest we get is seeing her look in a window where McCoy and Kirk are talking to Khan. What the H? So yeah, that's the closest we see. So I don't really have a proper scale to compare it to, but it does seem smaller than a human, because we don't really know how big the dots are either, because we haven't seen them next to humans.
Yeah, but I get the sense that they're smaller than humans. I don't know how small, but smaller.
Yeah, well, big enough to carry
smaller than most humans.
Yeah,
because not all humans are the same size too. So
that's true.
Okay, so several things. So, okay, tardigrades can move through time and space. Okay.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
This could be the same tardigrade. This could be Ripper.
Possibly.
But the Ripper tardigrade we see in Discovery is an older version of this one that has come back in time to Discovery. I don't know. Tiny
Why is it
whiny.
important to you for it to be the same tardigrade?
Read the novel. Anyway, you'll know why.
Well, I
So
will read the novel when it comes out.
I know we'll have to talk about that another time. That's why I'm like hesitant because I really want to talk about that.
I'm sorry. Well, you got to read it before any of us.
I know. I'm sorry.
No, don't apologize for that.
I'm not sorry, actually. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, the truth comes out.
Uh, yeah. So, oh yeah, because yeah, like I said, we interviewed the author on what show? I'm not saying it.
Literary treks. You've
Yeah,
already said it.
I didn't say Literary Treks, did I?
Yes, you
Oh,
did.
okay. I'm sorry. Well, I just said it again. So there are several things in this episode that we get to see. Lots of Easter eggs. They should have
So many.
released this on Easter, as much eggs there are in this. So we see the Enterprise. Now, this is interesting because the design of this Enterprise that we see here at the start is more of the design we see on Discovery, that kind of redesigned, slightly redesigned Enterprise. That's what we see.
Sure.
I have no problems with that. Well, it's kind of a mix. Like there's parts of it I think that look more like the TOS Enterprise more so than it did on Discovery. I don't know. It's kind of a nice blend of
Yeah.
material.
Yeah.
So then, like you mentioned, we see Khan. We see, and we're hearing audio from that episode Space Seed. And
Yes.
think about this, because when you said about we see Khan, it made me think, okay, how many times now has Khan appeared in Star Trek? Of course, Space Seed, The Wrath of Khan. What else? We've seen him in Star Trek Into Darkness.
Into Darkness.
And now this. Is that it?
As far as I know.
I think well, wait, do we see any like flashback? We don't see any flashbacks of him in The Search for Spock, right? No.
No, not that I recall.
So this is the fourth time we've gotten Khan.
Mm-hmm.
And he's very two-dimensional in this one.
Literally. Well, it was because when I heard the voices before we actually got to see inside the window what Ephraim was seeing, I was thinking, wait a minute, that's Shatner. What is that was basically my reaction, was just, what is going I see what you did there. And it tickled me pink, honestly.
Yeah, it was nice. It was nice to see that. And Chrissy says in the chat, hoping for more dialogue from the shows like that and other stuff would be great too. So yeah, we see Khan. The tardigrade gets into the ship with Dot because Dot's chasing the tardigrade away, and they're fumbling all over each other, and they get through the laundry of all the tunics from the officers.
Very Looney Tunes.
Very Looney Tunes. Oh, David Teak says reference to Khan in DS9 when Julian is revealed to be genetically enhanced. So,
well, references don't count as seeing him.
No, but it's like a sub count.
Sub count. It's like half a count, but
Half
it's
a
not a
count.
full count.
I
don't know what I'm saying.
Okay, so then we see Tribbles. We also see Tribbles, and then we see Sulu with his sword from the Naked Time. And this point, I'm like, okay, now wait a second. These episodes are out of order, because the Naked Time was. Oh no, wait. Yeah, the Naked Time was before Space Seed, but we saw Space Seed in this before the Naked Time. But that's fine because the tardigrade moves through time.
Well, that's the thing too, though. There wasn't a whole lot of through plot lines in the original series, so you could take stuff and mix it around and have no idea that this came before that.
Totally I'm with you on that. Yeah. I agree with you. I'm with you on that. I'm glad you said it, not me, because some people hate that.
That's okay. I'm ready for your hate.
They can hate. but the thing is, this is really supposed to be kind of loose, just to have fun. Like you're saying, Looney Tunes. I mean, come on.
It's just fun. It's comedy.
Okay, I'm going to throw it out there. I'm just going to do it for the chat. Okay, is this canon? Is this canon? Canon. Don't put two double N's in the middle. That drives me crazy because it's not about a cannonball. Is this canon? Okay, so let you guys ponder on that for a moment. So we see Dot live long and prosper.
Yeah. The thing is that if everything, this is the parameter that has been set. Everything that we have seen on screen is canon.
Oh,
This was on screen.
oh, oh. Okay. Well, we'll get to that more later. What's everybody saying? They're saying I see Chris Littlefield in caps says yes, it's canon.
Yep, I agree.
Everything's canon. Hashtag everything's canon.
Yeah, I honestly am not a person that cares so very deeply about canon that I let it ruin my enjoyment of things.
I don't either. Obviously, because I do shows that about stories that aren't canon. But I will say the reason I'm asking this question is because, first of all, in my opinion, forget about canon. Like, pretend it doesn't exist. Let stories happen. But I don't think we should get so caught up in this animated short trek to the point that people start arguing it against other Star Trek stuff,
Oh, sweetie, let me explain something to you.
No, I know. I
People
don't want to
are
hear.
always going to
Uh,
argue about this because there are always those kind of people. You can't stop that from happening. That just means we don't have to argue about it.
That's true. Well, if everything on screen is canon, so are those little serial tribble things, that little commercial at the end.
But I still think that was a delusion. But anyway,
Maybe this is too.
it quite possibly is. It was somebody's acid dream or something. Oh, one thing I also really liked is the whole part was, does it sense a predator? And then all of a sudden the Enterprise just comes out of warp right there.
Yes.
That was so
And
great.
that music comes on.
Yep.
Michael Giacchino.
So many music Easter eggs too. So many.
I saw
Oh,
someone tweet to Michael Giacchino and ask, we need the soundtrack to this. And I totally agree with that. I would love to get that. Not only did he do the music, now, if anybody doesn't know, he did the music to the Kelvin timeline movies.
yes.
Those theatrical movies. He composed that music. And then I hope there's somebody in the chat that knows about music, Chris Littlefield. And then Michael Giacchino also did the music for this and directed this animated episode, which I thought was really cool. Because in a lot of ways, the way this plays, like you're saying, Looney Tunes, music has a big part of this. It's really helping. There's a certain rhythm to the episode, and how it flows. Especially when they go then to time travel and we see the big Apollo green hand.
Oh my Lord, yes. That's when I just started squeeing my little pants off. Just especially when it like comes to, the battle with the Reliant. And I'm like, what is it? What? We're up to Wrath of God now? It's just going nuts.
Yeah, and then we saw the Doomsday Machine. We saw that. Then
the Planet Killer.
Yeah, the Planet Killer, then the Tholian Web. We got it caught up into that. Then we saw Abraham Lincoln from the Savage Curtain.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, boom, we're into now the Wrath of Khan, followed by the Search for Spock, Star Treks 2 and 3. And so I'm going to bring it up. And Brian, I know you've been saying it, but I've been holding this back. Did you notice the Enterprise says it's the 1701A in this when it's really the 1701?
Yeah. But
it's canon.
Yeah, well, see, that's the thing. I don't care.
I know. I'm just saying.
I am honestly kind of, the thought in my head is like, somebody didn't notice that before they went and like added it all together. Anyway,
Yeah. I
it's
don't know. I have seen in past like art and things like, well, when people there's times I see people refer to the different enterprises. They say, "Oh, what's your favorite enterprise?" I say, "Is it the 1701 or the 1701A, then BCD, whatever?" And I'm always like, "Okay, well, the refit enterprise, yes, but that wasn't always the A." There's times I've had to say that, they look
mhm.
the same. I like both, but it's that refit enterprise was not always just the A. And I think people just like get caught up in that. And maybe they noticed it when it was too late, you know?
Mm.
I first of all, when I
Or
watched it, I didn't even notice it the first time.
or they put it in there purposely to drive people crazy.
That's that's exactly what Alex Kurtzman is all about, man.
Yeah, and he's just sitting in his office and laughing his butt off.
He's like, they're paying me. I don't care what I do now. Um, no. So here's the thing. So because the tardigrade can move through time and space, he can
Mhm,
also go through different dimensions.
mhm.
And maybe once he gets to that point, maybe it was, maybe when they refit the Enterprise in some other dimension, they decided to relabel it the A, but the same events played out with Khan and the Genesis planet and all that. This is how I weave. I know I don't care. It's fine if there's if there's a mistake. Oh well, whatever. But I do like to have fun at trying to figure out how it could fit.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's half the fun, is
Right,
justifying it somehow.
right. It's like I try to
Absolutely.
justify things to my wife. She doesn't always accept them, but when it comes to Star Trek, no one can tell me no. So, uh, but my wife can tell me no. And you can too, Brandy.
Okay, no.
No.
I don't know what that no is about, but I'll think of something.
I don't know, but we had babies. Not you and me, but in this episode.
I was gonna say, I can't do that. My body doesn't work that way.
Uh, yeah, there were little baby tardigrades, which are great. So I love
Mhm.
that. Um, okay, let me give you a little test some trivia thing here. The narrator. What do you know
Kirk
about the narrator?
Thatcher!
There you
Kirk
go.
Thatcher!
I knew you would
Kirk
know this.
Thatcher! I love that they got Kirk Thatcher.
Tell
That
people
was
who
another
Kirk
thing.
Thatcher is.
Well, Trek fans will probably know him best as a punk on a bus playing his music too loud, and then Spock nerve pinched him into unconsciousness. That's Kirk Thatcher. He also had a cameo in Spider Man Homecoming, standing on a corner with another guy with a boombox on his shoulder,
That's right.
and that other guy was yelling for him to do a backflip. I also saw him at a FanX
Oh,
a
okay.
few years back. He was on a panel talking about the Muppets with my good friend and artist Chris Bodley. So, yeah, I know exactly who Kirk Thatcher is.
So if Kurt Thatcher is the punk rock guy in Star Trek 4, is that the character that's narrating this story for us?
Oh, I don't think so. I think he can play a different character, just like how Michelle Forbes has played more than one character in Star Trek. So we can just let that be. Um, One thing I do want to say, and I've already forgotten what it was. Oh yeah, I remember now. That song that the punk was listening to on the bus,
Uh-huh.
that was actually Kurt Thatcher's song. He wrote it
Yes,
and sang it.
that's true. I remember hearing about that.
Good times.
I like that show. Good times. Which they're going to do a live version on CBS next week. So off tangent again. So Chrissy says that before she saw the credits, she thought the narrator was Kelsey Grammer.
That never occurred to me. It didn't sound like Kelsey
I
Grammer
it
to me
didn't,
at
but I
all.
can see that. I can see where she might think that. Well, because Hello Seattle, I'm listening. He also played Captain Bates
Yeah,
in Star
he
Trek.
he has a Star Trek history as well.
Yes. So, uh, wait. Okay. So, David Teak says, I think the point may have been to get this canon discussion around the A, and we see Abraham Lincoln in space and Apollo hand, and that's all cool. Maybe they're just punking us. The punk guy is narrating the story to punk us.
There we go. That explains it all.
And he got his inspiration to tell the story because Michael Burnham sleeps with a tardigrade.
Yep. It all fits together, guys.
It
all fits together.
So what'd you think of the animation of this one? We talked about the animation of the other one.
I like the animation for this one as well. It was fun to see the animated Kirk and McCoy and Khan for the little seconds we saw them. And I loved the tardigrade. And it was one of those things where when the Enterprise explodes, you're like, oh no, our babies!
Yeah.
You know, that was traumatic for me as an adult. And so I was very happy that Dot saved them. But in any case, I liked the animation style. I think the shading was really exceptional on this one. I really, really liked the way things looked, and the warp core. Oh, that looked so good.
It did,
so
didn't it?
like the original. Just, yeah.
Warm and toasty.
It did. It made me feel warm and toasty.
Yeah.
And we all know that tardigrades can withstand levels of radiation that we cannot, obviously, or else they couldn't just travel in space. So
I was kind of hoping when we kept seeing the engine room that we'd hear Scotty's voice in the background at some point. And we never did.
Right?
I think that would have been cool.
That would have been cool. I agree.
So yeah, Brian corrected me. It's Morgan Bateson, Kelsey Grammer's character. I know when I said Captain Bates, I was like, that didn't sound quite right. I forgot the Bateson.
Bateson.
So Christy's asking, does anybody think that dot is intended as a reference to Spaceballs dot matrix?
No. Didn't occur to me.
Automate Joyce says punkception.
You know what that means now? That means that the Marvel universe and the Star Trek universe are the same universe, except now they're not because, you know, Infinity War and Endgame. So never mind.
Yeah, it gets all confusing. I'm not even going there.
Time.
I was gonna say, because of like, even like if you took the Star Trek crossover comics, you can start connecting things.
Well, they sure connected Star Trek and the Transformers recently.
They did. Yes, they did. It was fun. It was more like the animated series.
Yes, I agree. I enjoyed that.
Captain Bates is from Downton Abbey. Okay. See, they're all connected. It's the same universe.
Right. It's all connected. All of it.
All of it. Okay. Anything else that we haven't talked about, chat, that we need to cover? I think we got most of it, but it wouldn't surprise me if we missed something. Let me just look through some other things here, because you know I like to surf on the internet. To make that clear.
I was gonna say, I don't think you're anywhere where you can surf, but
oh, here's an interesting piece I found from denofgeek.com for Ephraim and Dot, that the Enterprise computer voice is played by Jeanette Goldstein, and she is famous for her role in Aliens as Vasquez, but she's also known for playing a bridge officer on the Enterprise B in Star Trek Generations.
yes, I did see her name, and I was going to mention that, and then I forgot about it until you mentioned it again. But yeah, I recognized her name immediately because I'm a huge Vasquez fan, and she is a chameleon. She has been cast as different characters, different guest characters on the same show, like 5 times. Like, if you go through her IMDb page, you'll see, yeah, she's been on Law and Order 5 different times as 5 different characters, and every time she's unrecognizable from the last part she played. She's just amazing.
So where is she on the bridge of Generations on the Enterprise B? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
I wanted to go back and look at that, but I didn't get a chance to really do that. So
I haven't had time to do that either, but yeah, I didn't recognize her at the time. So at that time, the first time I saw it anyway. And then when I was looking at other things that she had done, and I just, oh, she was in that? Wait, what? So let's go back with the pan and scan and see if I can freeze it at the right time.
Yeah. Well, I'm just curious. I see some people in the chat saying that they like Ephraim and Dot as a favorite. There's only 2 people that said that at this point. So I'm just going to ask the chat, yeah, which one was your favorite of the 2? You don't even have to answer that if you don't want to pick favorites, because maybe you like them both the same. I don't know. Maybe you don't like either one of them. I haven't heard anybody say that they don't like them. If you don't like them, if you didn't like this version of animated Trek, let us know. This is the first time we've had animated Star Trek since 1974. That's a long time.
Yeah, except I'm still older than that.
Yes, you are. And so am I, because I'm older than you. I would say for myself, Brandy, just so you know, I think I liked Ephraim and Dot better. I enjoyed it better because I went in thinking I was gonna like the girl who made the stars the best, and maybe I was thought, oh, Ephraim Dot, I'm sure that'll be kind of fun or whatever. But I think with the music and all the little, flashbacks to past episodes, there was a lot of things that surprised me, I guess, and I was surprised that I enjoyed this episode. So all of a sudden, it got elevated in my mind, and the girl who made the stars is like, it met my expectations. It didn't exceed them. That's where I land. What about you?
That's fair. I don't like picking favorites.
Well, you don't need to.
So
I like them both. So
yeah, I like them both as well. They're 2 very different stories.
They are, yes.
So if you have a gun to my head and are forcing me to pick one, no, I don't. I love all my children equally.
Yeah. And the girl who made the stars, at the same time, think about, but it there's so many parallels to Burnham and oh gosh, now I don't know anymore. Anyway, but yeah, I think it's just that Ephraim and Dot exceeded my expectations. I really was going in thinking I wasn't going to probably like it all that much, but I did. So it looks like most in the chat kind of are on my side on that, on Ephraim and Dot, and your husband likes stars. The girl who made the stars. So yeah, I didn't see anybody who said that they don't like any of them.
Yes,
that's a good thing.
Indeed.
So yes, Brian, you mentioned in here the next one is Children of Mars. That's the next short tracks. And thank you for mentioning January 9th, because I was going to look up the date. I knew it was that first full week, but I couldn't remember the exact date. So January 9th.
I could have told you. I could have told you. Do you know why? Because it's the day I'm coming back from Nashville, and I told my boss I had to be home by a certain time, so we had to take an earlier flight.
Absolutely. I'm going to be in Las Vegas during that time. I'll be at CES, the Consumer Electronics Show. Maybe I'll see our Trek friends in Vegas while I'm there. Hopefully I'll have a chance to do that. Oh, maybe I could watch that episode with them. That would be cool. So here's the thing, everyone, just so you know, this show, Live from the Edge, it's about Discovery, and these short treks that we've been reviewing are all related to Discovery. This next short treks is more related to Star Trek Picard. This is like a little prequel to Picard. So we'll not be doing that episode on Live from the Edge. Just saying that. I want to hear everybody cry. Wait, no, okay.
We're waiting.
So yes, we'll be not doing this live show for Children of Mars because it's not Discovery. and this is a Discovery show. But we'll still be watching it. However, just, pay attention to what Brandy and I have on Twitter or something, because you know what? We can still do this and not be part of Live from the Edge. We'll just come on YouTube and do what we always do. And you're all welcome to join us. So keep your eyes and ears open, because if it ain't Live from the Edge, it'll be live from somewhere.
Yes. All of the yes.
Oh, yeah. And on Twitter, I am at Admiral_Rex. If you want to know what we do next month. Brandy, where can people find you on Twitter?
Brandywine12. Brandy is with an I and the 12 is a number.
There you go. And yeah, so we'll keep you updated on that. So, Brian's saying, can we do it for his podcast? I don't know. We'll see.
Oh, juicy danglers.
So, Brandy, you want to do our closeout thing? And we need people to suggest.
Oh, no. No, I've already got one.
Oh, you got one? What is it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm going to do Kirk Thatcher narrating an old film.
Yes.
I won't be as good as he is, but.
Okay.
All right. Be sure to check out our Discovery coverage throughout the week. Live from the Edge will not return for some time until there are new Discovery episodes, and we don't yet know when that will be. The commentary will be available as Tracks from the Edge, and feedback will be discussed on Postcards from the Edge. You can catch the full analysis on the Edge main show, and join us for Notes from the Edge if Chris Jones gets around to it. You'll find all of these in the main feed for the Edge and the Trek FM master feed. We'd love to hear your thoughts on Discovery. The best place to do that is the Babel Conference, our listeners group on Facebook, where Christopher Littlefield will collect your feedback for Postcards from the Edge. You can also find us on Twitter at TrekFM, or send us email using the contact form on our website at trek.fm/contact. Choose to send to a show and choose the Edge. We'd also like to thank our associate producers, Norman C. Lau, Tony Robinson, Thomas Paleo, Lisa Slack, Shoaib Mirza, Richard Rutledge, James Muldrow, Cornelia Reutner, Ryan Malett, Chris Trabuzio, and Brian Malosh. If you would like to help us keep all of our shows going and even become an AP, visit patreon.com/trekfm for all the details.
And the film didn't break. That's great. That was great.
Thank you. It was fun.
Well, speaking of Brian Malosh, he did ask, live from the line. We don't know. Let me just go back to say this show again. Live from the Edge is just Discovery. When I say that, I don't know, maybe Brian and I will do something. That would just be, I'm not saying we're even going to do that. Just saying, hey, we might just do that for fun on our own, and you're welcome to join us. Will Trek FM do something live related to Picard? That is to be determined. Well, as soon as we know, you will know. Let's just put it that way. So, but be sure, anything Picard, to listen to The Line. That's the official podcast here on Trek FM related to Star Trek Picard. So listen to The Line. Chrissy is one of the hosts. She's in here in the chat. She's supporting us. Brandon and Justin decide not to support us tonight. They're not here. No, they had I'm kidding. I know.
Shade.
There's conflict. I've already talked to those guys. I'm just kidding. So
shade being dropped.
So yes, listen to The Line. If anybody's like, why is it called The Line? Because the line must be drawn here.
Yep.
From Star Trek First Contact, Picard says that.
Yes.
So,
and then he broke his little ships.
I always love that. You broke your little ships. Hey, speaking of Discovery, this this would be our last live from the edge until season 3, which is coming out later in 2020. We don't have a date for that yet.
No, we don't. I'm still thinking it's going to be September. That's my personal feeling.
So I remember hearing a while back, I think it's around that same time, that the Orville is doing its season 3 coming out on Hulu. And I heard this like months ago, and I thought, oh, that's so good. Because at this point, I didn't know when Discovery's coming out. And I thought Discovery is going to come out in around, early 2020, like the past seasons. Like, oh, well, that's good. We'll get Discovery. And then when Discovery's done its season, then Orville has his, they won't overlap. And then they said Discovery's coming later in 20. I'm like, oh, crap. They're probably going to overlap again. Not that there's anything wrong with it. It's just, I thought they always seem to be paired up at the same time.
Well, to be fair, season 1 of Discovery started in late September.
That's true, yes. But so did Orville.
Yes, well, that's the normal television season for regular networks.
There ain't the normal anymore now. But no, you're right. September through May, network television is like the typical season and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and they still like to do the cliffhanger thing. Here's the thing. I'm talking to everyone who runs network television. I'm talking ABC, CBS, Fox, NBC. Stop doing season finale cliffhangers. You want to make sure I come back for the next season? Don't do a cliffhanger, because that is just going to make me angry.
Or
I will stop watching your show.
Don't do a cliffhanger and cancel the series. That has happened.
That too.
That has happened before.
That too.
So
just don't do cliffhangers. Just don't.
And we'll throw the CW in there too.
Yeah, well, and they did that with Next Generation. They did a season ender cliffhanger. Mm-hmm. And then people had to wait 3+ months to find out. And it was such an anticlimactic thing.
You're talking about the best of both worlds. That was during that time, that summer between seasons is when I became like a born again Trekkie. Like I was a casual Trekkie fan. Like I was a casual Trek fan. I didn't like Star Trek much when I was a kid, but as I got older, I liked it more. And I started going, as the movies came out, because I'm that old or whatever, I was there for every movie that came out, and I liked the movies. Yes, you too, Brandy. We're both, old. No, we're not old, but
we've
been around the block for this stuff.
We are like a fine wine.
Yes. And then I started watching TNG when it was on, but it wasn't like I watched it every weekend. Most of the time, if I was home and it was on, I'd watch it. But it wasn't until after that season of TNG, that summer, I just graduated college and I bought my first Star Trek novel. And I started reading the novel. That's how I got into the novels. I started reading the novels and I was like, oh my gosh, this is like what I saw on TNG last season and whatever. And like things were connecting. And then I hadn't seen all the episodes of the original series. And then I started watching the original series and I was like, oh, that was in a novel. And it's like, it all connected. And I've been obsessed ever since. So that's my born again Trekkie time right there. Yes. Does that even exist? Born again Trekkies?
Sure. Why not?
Okay. I don't know. I haven't heard anybody call that. I just thought it made sense.
I like it. You returned to the fold.
Yes. Yeah, it wasn't like I left it, but I'm just saying you make a bigger commitment to it.
Yeah, well, it was always a big commitment in my house. If Star Trek was on, we were all watching it, period. So didn't matter what series it was. It was just, I remember I was 14 when Next Generation started. And I just thought, okay, am I going to get behind this? And I'm like, no, it's Star Trek. It's Star Trek. It's Star Trek. Don't care. It's Star Trek. New Star Trek. So, I'd never had new Trek in my life. So I was very happy about it. And I've enjoyed every single series that has happened. And Brian Malosh says, oh, come on. Best of Both Worlds was a masterpiece. Don't diss it. I'm not dissing the episode. I'm dissing the big letdown at the beginning of part 2 when it's Mr. Warfire and nothing happens. It was all for nothing.
I'm so sorry.
Nothing happened. And I'm just like, What?
Yeah.
What? Yeah. There was I think at that point I got up from the couch and like walked around the room for a minute and then came and sat back down.
Okay, wait. Speaking of, hold on.
Holding. Oh my goodness.
Well, first of all, I'm just going to say this ends the live show for those who listen to the podcast, because what I'm about to do now, you can only see on screen. So it doesn't make any sense for audio podcasts. So those who are listening, thank you for joining us. Those who are watching us live or who will go back to YouTube to watch this video, you can see this part. So this is coming up this weekend on that other show called Literary Treks, Bodied by Starfleet, a fitness guide. Okay. We have Rob Perlman on to talk about it. He's the author of it. And you were talking about, getting off the couch. It made me think of exercise. This is one of my favorite exercises in here. It's called Riker's leg extensions. Okay, hold on. Let's see. You get all fours on the floor and you start lifting the leg up. And it talks about how he straddles chairs, and that's where the exercise comes from. These are real exercises.
I know, because when I was a teenager, we had a Jane Fonda workout, and that was actually one of the moves, was those leg lifts. So,
well, because Rob Perlman said that he started going to a gym. He's doing exercises, and he's a big Star Trek fan. And he was thinking these things, like as he's doing the exercise, like he's lifting his leg, he's like, I feel like I'm Will Riker. His leg. Then we have Deanna Troy's active listeners. Okay, let's see if I can. She's always nodding her head, so you lift your head up and down. This takes a couple of pages because you have to do from left to right too. So there's great illustrations in here. This is a fun book. Word. This is a fun book. Again, real exercises, great illustrations in here. I think it's available now. I think it came out this week. And it's $16 in the US, $22 in Canada. It may be less if you get it online somewhere or whatever. But yeah, it's a fun book to give as a gift to if you like Star Trek people in your life. And then it's got a log in the back that you can track, but also at the very end, it's got exercises for aliens, because you have to have your Horta. Oh yeah, your Horta shags where you lay eggs and stuff. This is an egg-filled episode here.
So many eggs.
Oh, Automated Joy said, is there a how-to for the Ensign row wing machine? No. But that's a good one. There's no Ensign row in here. So we do have Tilly exercises. I can tell you that.
Excellent.
This is one I kind of like. It's you use a tribble when you do your exercises. Okay. But then there's times you have to do the exercises where you hold the tribble out further. So you have Uhura on that one, but where you hold the tribble out far from you, use Worf, because Klingons don't like those tribbles.
And tribbles don't like Klingons.
Right. Anyway, it's just fun. I like it. Like the Gorn can't bend legs, so you do leg lifts as a Gorn. Gorn walks is what they're called. So yeah, check that out.
Genius. This is absolute genius. Love it.
Rob is the same guy who did the Search for Spock, where it's like the Waldo books. You look for Spock in the car. That's the same guy. I have that here too. It's sitting over here too. I had him sign it. STLV.
This is the best day ever.
So yeah. Hey, everybody, seriously, this show's over, but Brandy and I, when we finish the show, we just keep talking to each other. We're just going to let you hang out for a while if you want with us for a little bit. So Brandy, stop recording.
Okay.
And then upload so I can get this ready for whatever.
Right.
Because I just, it's Friday night. I have nothing else I want to do but hang out right now. But if you need to go, you can go. I don't want to keep you. Or you can get Dave in here too. That would be fun.
No, it's all good. I don't have anywhere I have to be because it's Friday. So that's
Mhm.
always a good thing.
It is. So, yeah.
Exporting. This is the behind the scenes stuff that you guys don't know about.
Yeah. This is where I start
Exciting.
complaining that I got to edit the episode and stay up late to do that. I don't complain. I love editing. I'm one of the few people that actually likes to edit.
You enjoy the control, don't you?
I do. No, so I studied broadcasting in college.
Oh, right.
And but I've been more on the business side of television, not so much, but I've done some things like a little bit like, on air things here or there, or some, production stuff, but for the most part been business. So but I haven't edited in years. I used to edit, using VHS tapes, and machines with toggles and stuff. And so now everything's computerized and, all that. I love editing. When I was in college, even using tapes, people in my class would say, "Oh, I hate editing." I love it. I just love to edit. It's just, I don't know, because I love coming up with the finished product,
Yeah.
Brian wants to rant about the 1701A.
Why am I not surprised?
I know, because I saw Brandon tweeting about it. That's when I first noticed it. He was going on about it too. It does bother me, but I get over those. I try to get over it because I don't know. Mistakes happen all the time.
Yes. Yes,
I
they
mean,
do.
look at the show. This show's a mistake. Yet we do it. You didn't think that was funny.
I did think that was funny. I just didn't laugh. I'm laughing now for you. Oh, let me do my fake laugh. There we go.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
Oh my. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to Picard. I'm excited about that.
Me too.
I've been reading the comic. We've had
Me
one issue
too.
come out.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's it.
Yep. I think there's only going to be 3.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's gonna be 3, and we're gonna cover it on that other show. So the third one comes out in January, and we're gonna do it as the feature. And we just might have those people from the line on to join us because it's Picard related. It'll be a fun discussion. So there you
Yeah.
go.
Nice.
That or the author, like now his name escapes me right now. Mike. What's his last name? I don't remember. But anyway, he'll join us too, maybe. I don't know. I can't think of his name right now.
I'm sorry. I'm not helping.
Well, and Kirsten Beyer would be nice too, but I have a feeling she's going to be too busy.
That's fair. She's got a lot to do. I'm
She
getting
does.
tired of people saying I've got a lot on my plate. I can go my whole life now without ever hearing that particular phrase again. Just like I can go all my life without ever hearing again once and for all. Please stop saying that. Please. I hear it 5 times a week on all the frickin' CW superhero shows. Stop doing it. Use something else.
Are you watching those shows this week?
Duh. Crisis on Infinite Earths? Like I'm gonna miss that?
I haven't watched them yet, but I plan to this weekend. I watched a little bit
talk
of it.
about Easter eggs. Holy
Oh my
crap, are
gosh,
there
so
Easter
much.
eggs?
So many people they
So
pulled
many.
from old shows too. Wow, yeah.
Oh, yeah, and not just that, just references that are not even actual characters or actors. It's just mind blown.
That's cool. Yeah, I want to
Yeah.
see those. I'm gonna watch them with my daughter because she's big into DC and all that. So cool. I'm still exporting my audio.
I know, so am I. It's taking a freaking long time.
Everybody's hanging out with us, and I say, "Oh, this isn't going to be in the audio podcast. This will be on YouTube when we're done.
Yeah,
I can't
it
stop
will.
recording. If I did, we're gone." So
Yeah. Oh, mine finished. Uploading, uploading.
hey, I don't know what I'm really allowed to say and what not to say because no one tells me anything anyway. So Brian, just to answer your question about why not just announce live from the line. This is where I make people nervous at Trek FM when I'm saying I'm gonna start talking.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna say anything. Oh, what Chrissy's answering. So I'll wait. Yeah, she says there's things that need to be worked out. Listen, I'm going to tell you guys honestly up front, behind the scenes stuff. We did this show for season 1 of Discovery, the live show. And of course, we have the regular show. We've got postcards. We've got the commentary show, which is what's that called again now? Not tracks from the edge. We have Chris's show, which we haven't had many of those because he's got a lot on his plate.
Oh, you.
That's the notes thing. But what starts to happen is when you have all these shows and all this feedback, a lot of it is repetitive. So when we were coming into season 2 of Discovery, there was some talk of, well, do we continue the live show because there's a lot of similarities between the live show and the regular show, not so much in style because we try to make this kind of light fun and silly and annoying, but
that describes us perfectly.
But we thought we can blend the two shows together into the regular show and maybe even do those live or whatever. So but it was decided now we'll just keep continuing to doing what we're doing. So now we've got Picard, we're going to get Lower Decks, all these other series. And it's like, well, do we do anybody, do we keep doing that live shows and regular shows and whatever? And so that's what's trying to be figured out. Like, is it too much to have both? Do you combine them on one, and Chris Jones, who runs the network, he's part of that decision-making process. So it's trying to be figured out. It's not that it's not that we or anybody else doesn't want to do a live show. It's just, what is sometimes too much. Mm-hmm. And believe me, there's just times where it gets to be too much to do all this stuff, So
yeah, but I do so love doing live.
Yeah. Now the one show that really sucks is postcards, because that new host guy, oh my gosh, what is up with him? What's his name? Christopher Littlefield. What is up with that guy? He's so entertaining.
He is. He's delightful, actually.
Oh, look, he's in the chat. What a surprise.
Oh, whoops. Yeah, don't say so. Don't shut down my Chris. Don't do that. It's not nice.
I'm going to say, Chris, in front of everyone here, you're doing a wonderful job. I think you're doing great.
Agree.
And the people you've had on with you to co-host have done great. You guys have always had great chemistry. I haven't been on, but whatever.
Hint.
Brandy has been on. Hint. I haven't, but whatever.
Hey, to be fair, I hadn't been on since before Discovery started airing, so it was quite the drought for me.
No, I did postcards early on with Amy. Mm-hmm. It was like maybe, like episode 3 or 4 Discovery.
Yeah, see? Same. Well, mine was way before that.
Oh my gosh.
Mine was before Discovery started, period.
It was too much for me because we recorded it the same day we did the live show.
Oh no.
Yes. No. So Amy and I recorded postcards right before I did the live show. And so like when we hit stop recording, I immediately was like, okay, gotta go. I gotta do the live show. And when I got on the live show with you and we were talking about stuff, there were so many things where I was like, I couldn't remember what we've talked about because I was like, did we already talk about that? Or was that just on postcard? Like I was getting so confused.
Yeah. Oh, you're getting an invitation.
I know, Chris. I was just kidding around. I don't need to be on your little show.
Oh.
I'm just playing. Wow. I'll let you know about that one. I have to see how my schedule is and stuff. But yeah, maybe. Yeah. I'll put me down as a maybe for Children of Mars to do postcards.
Strong maybe.
A strong maybe.
Mm-hmm. Strong.
Yes.
Be a strong maybe.
Maybe I'll do
you want to be on. You know you want to be on
there. That's my problem. Is I say yes too often. I used to be the type that'd say, I'm doing it now. Okay. Because I've learned I say yes to everything. Because when I've got to a point where I was just like, why even think? Just do it. Try everything. Yeah, say yes. It's like this show. Hey, Bruce, you want to do a live show? Yes, sure. You want to do literary tracks? Sure, yes. Star Wars Report? Yes. I'm doing everybody else's freaking shows.
Well, see, that's the thing. You have to say no sometimes so that your yes means something.
Okay, Chris, no. No, I'm kidding.
After you moaned about not having been on, ooh, you are a fickle one.
And Chrissy says if I say yes to everything, I'll end up with
No! No! Please stop it. There has to be a better way.
Hey, now watch the language there, Mr. Littlefield. There.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? Maybe I should get to New York for that one, and we do it together, postcards in the same room. That would be cool. I should try that. See if I can work that out. Although I try not to fly to New York and stuff in January because you never know, snow or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know we're not recording. We're good. Everybody can say what they want to say.
Yeah, but you can actually look at the chat even after the video has ended. Yeah, when you go in to watch the video, you can look at the chat too.
That's cool.
Just so you know.
That's cool. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you and I can do a private chat in this service. I just noticed that.
Yes, we can.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
Or you might have to pay extra for that. Oh no.
Oh.
No, it works. Okay. I just looked. Are you uploading to Basecamp
Yes,
yet?
I am. Let's see if it's done. It's done posting to the project.
Ooh.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Oh yeah, the notice
there you
just
go.
came in. Just came into me here.
There you go. I got you.
You know what my wife says all the time, and now it's a thing in our house that we have to celebrate if she says it at least once a day, because she does. She always says on the flip side. Every time we're talking about something, she'll say, well, blah, 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 blah. But on the flip side, and now, my daughters and I just look at each other and laugh and go, yay, she said it. That's it. That she said for the day. We're good for today. On the flip side.
On the flip side. I don't ever say that. Really?
I occasionally say it.
Yeah. Just one of those things. It's not in my chosen vernacular.
Yes. But on the flip side, if you did start saying, you know what that phrase comes from, right?
No.
It's from records.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, you flip the record over. Well, yeah, I don't know.
Right.
Oh, here's a song on the record, and you played it, and then it's like, oh, but on the flip side, there's another song, or something. I don't know. Everybody's talking about plates. I went out with friends last night. I don't know if Chrissy's still with us in the room right now because, oh yeah, she is. She just replied. I was with some people that, first of all, one of them loves to drink. All he does is just order drinks. And I wasn't I'm not a big drinker, but I was drinking. And then she and Justin were messaging me. We were talking about podcast stuff. And I mean, I'm texting. And just so you know, Chrissy, as I'm doing that, my friends are getting mad at me. They're like, get off your phone. What are you doing? I'm like, I am working. My podcast comes first. I got to take care of this stuff now. Podcast business is at work. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, but we were ordering food. We had I had lots of oysters last night. I like oysters. We got baked they ordered baked oysters at first, which I don't do. I do the raw ones, and we started doing a lot of the raw ones then.
I'm allergic to shellfish.
Are you?
Yes.
No, Chrissy, you don't have to apologize for being distracted. It's something I like doing. Sometimes, like after a while, too, like my friends will talk about stuff I don't really care about. So I'm just like, whatever.
Brutal honesty here tonight on Live from the Edge, the after hours.
Yeah, especially when they're like, Bruce, what is it that you would like to do? Like, if you had to make a career change, I'm like, no, I don't want to talk about that. Like, that's like serious stuff. Like, no, I don't want to do that. Because then I start thinking and I get depressed. Like, oh, did I make the right career choices?
Sometimes you don't choose your career, sometimes it chooses you.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes you don't choose the company you work for. Sometimes it chooses you when it buys your other one.
Yep, that's fair. That has happened to my younger sister. So, yeah.
Well, that's where I am now. Because, a year and a half ago, a company came and bought us. And now I report to that company in LA. I'm in Atlanta, but I report to LA. We have our office at Century City. We have studios there at Culver City. We got a lot going on. A lot of stuff.
And things.
A
Yeah,
lot of
stuff
stuff.
and things.
Yeah. And we're suing companies. It's great. But yeah, I get to hang out with like some like comedians because we have a comedy part to our business, and I love comedy. I've done some. Doesn't mean funny. It's just I've done some. But it's like just hanging out with them. We got like Louis Anderson and Howie Mandel and like who else? Wait, who else?
And he's racking his brain.
Well, our owner of the company is a comedian too. So anyway, fun. But see, I wish it was comedy all day long at work, right? You gotta laugh.
Laughing's good.
I always am the way I am now. I'm like this in meetings. I sit there, even if it's the president of the company. I'm just like, yeah. And then they go like, "Oh, Bruce."
Right. So you're doing Bruceisms to them in meetings.
I do. That
Excellent.
That does happen.
I wish I could be a fly on the wall.
Mm-hmm. Live from the fly on the wall.
And I'm just sitting there going,
it looks like you're knitting.
now this is what flies do. They sit there with their legs doing that.
Oh, Brian's asking me, what do I do? I'm still trying to figure that out. I always love it when I go to meetings with other companies and stuff. They go, well, let's go around the room and introduce yourself and tell people what you do. And usually I will say, hi, I'll do several different things. Sometimes I'll say, hi, I'm Bruce Gibson. I don't know what I do. I'm still trying to figure that out. Sometimes we go around the room, and especially if the CEO, now I'm not saying just at this company, I've done it at other companies, if the CEO's in the room and the CEO hasn't introduced him or herself yet, when it comes to me, I'll say, hi, I'm Bruce Gibson. I'm CEO of the company. And the CEOs always laugh at that. No one's gotten mad at me. So what I do is I work in the television industry. In distribution and marketing. Okay. I usually don't mention who I work for, but I work for a company called Entertainment Studios. And the company that they bought that I was working for and still involved with is the Weather Channel. But now I also represent other networks and TV stations, lesser known networks. But if you have DirecTV and AT&T, you've probably seen them. And then we have syndicated programming like Funny You Should Ask is like a comedy game show. That's where you see a lot of the comedians. We've now bought some TV stations, so we own some CBS, Fox, and NBC stations. Soon to have some ABC stations and CW stations. So all kinds of stuff. So yeah.
This
So,
is the most I've ever heard about what your company does.
oh, well, Chrissy just says, hope your company doesn't get bought by Sinclair. Here's the funny thing about that. We almost did get bought by Sinclair 3 years ago,
Oh, I'm so glad you
and
didn't.
it fell through. Yes, Brian, Byron Allen, that is the man I work for. Him and his second in command is who I report to. So, yes, but Byron doesn't laugh at my jokes. Byron, one time, first time I met Byron Allen was before he bought the company, and I was making fun of uh his network called pets.tv. He was like, tell me about it. I said, what? You get like a lot of collies, like dogs calling saying, I need this shows and give me more programming like this. And he's like, what? Oh, I see. You're a funny man. Ha ha. You're funny, right?
No, that was funny.
And then one time we were having dinner and someone said, he was talking about when he did some stand up. And someone said, well, Bruce at one point had done some stand up. He goes, yeah. So anyway, and he just went on.
Ooh, he's just jealous.
Yeah, he's real jealous.
He's
Yeah.
so jealous of
Yes,
you.
Brian. He was on the show called Real People. It was on NBC in the 80s. He was also the youngest comedian to appear on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. I think he was 17 or 18. I can't remember which. I think the latest I've heard him say he was 18. He did that. So, yeah. So,
My dad's name was Byron.
oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, son of a red shirt. I hadn't seen you make comments before. You're saying good evening. Hello.
Welcome.
Son of
Where
a
have
red
you
shirt.
been?
I love that name. So, yeah. What up, Brandy? You want to tell people what you do?
No. What I do is boring.
She loves to talk about her job.
Yeah. That's what
Well, you wait, I'm trying to remember. This isn't the busiest time of year for you. Wait, when is your
No.
busiest time? It's like in the summer. When,
Well, it's
or
basically
spring.
March, mid-March through like September. It used to be that it started to calm down around July, but now it's just busy all the frickin' time until we get to like October. And then maybe it's not a call every other second, but yeah. I work for a lawn fertilization company. I'm the office manager, which sounds super boring, and sometimes it is. But I actually enjoy this time of year because, in fact, today I talked to a total of 3 customers, and I had a total of 7 calls overall, 4 of which were spam. So there was a lot of entertainment coming from my phone today.
Oh, okay.
While I was working. I was alone in the office. I was
Oh.
alone in the office. No one can stop me from watching videos on my phone when I work.
Oh. Why don't you come work with me?
Okay. Do I have to move to Atlanta?
No.
Okay, good. Because I can't move.
Why is Chris grumpy? Chris is saying he's grumpy.
Oh, I know why he's grumpy.
Oh.
I'm not going to disclose it.
Oh, I'm sorry. And here I am like harassing him about like, I don't want to be on your stupid show.
No, what he's grumpy about has nothing to do with this.
Well, yeah, but he might not be in a good mood, and now I'm just like,
Oh.
I don't know. He says you can say, I don't mind.
Oh, well, see, his boyfriend is supposed to be coming up from Baltimore, and the bus has had a problem, and he's been delayed, so he's somewhere. Where is he that you said?
Probably Wilmington.
Delaware. He's in Delaware right now.
I said probably Wilmington. That's in Delaware.
Yep. And, it's time they could have been spending together. And so it's very frustrating, and I totally get that. And I feel bad.
I'm grumpy. I didn't even know he had a boyfriend. So.
Well, now you do.
I'm out
outed
of the loop.
you, Chris.
I'm out of the loop.
You said I could say.
Just have him on postcards with you instead of me, because I'm just out of the loop. No one wants me around.
Oh, I've met him through video chat. He's lovely.
Oh, did you?
Yes. I
Not
like it very
not yet
much.
to Wilmington. Where you're in Delaware, you're not that far from Wilmington.
Yeah. But
Oh, the boyfriend's new. I see. Is that
yes.
right, huh?
What was that supposed to mean? Oh, is that right?
Is that right? New. I've had the same wife for like 25 years, so soon to be 26.
I've had the same husband for 22.
Mm,
Yeah, he's my favorite husband by far.
really?
Just because he's my only husband does not make him any less my favorite.
Yeah.
I mean, I do have all my fantasy husbands, but, you
Oh,
know.
I got lots of fantasy wives.
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah,
also
yeah.
have a lot of fantasy not wives too.
Oh, no, I always have the fantasy husbands. I'm not
No.
I'm not a tramp,
What does
okay?
that mean, a fantasy husband? Is that like
Uh,
celebrities or something,
sure,
or
I
just
guess.
anybody?
I would just say anybody, but
Wait,
probably most
Is
often
Dave still in
celebrities.
the chat?
I don't
He's
know.
not. He hasn't been saying anything, but if he is, he's gonna start saying something now because you're telling the world that you have fantasy husbands.
Oh, I'm sure he has fantasy wives, but, he's probably logged out of the chat and gone back to playing Fallout 76 because I unfortunately introduced him to that game, and now he will not stop playing it. I'm just like, "No, I wanted someone to play with online, and now
Mhm.
you're just playing all the time without me. It's fine. It's fine. I'm fine."
Yeah. So okay, I'm seeing son of a red shirt who just discovered the network. Look, the other
Ooh,
shows aren't as weird like this. So just so you
no.
know, this is
Do not
very
use this do not use this as your standard. Do not.
no. And if this
Definitely.
is your kind of thing, go find another network. 'Cause the shows of Trick of 'em are better than this.
Yes. Yes, we are the dregs of Trek FM.
Yeah, because when you do a live show, I mean, you can do a live show very similar to a regular show, but that's the thing. We have regular shows on, the edge is the regular. So we try to make this more loose, a little different. I mean, I don't know. You guys seem to like it. I'm sure not everybody likes it, but we're doing like what we do right now. We just talk. And sometimes it's hard because we go off topic.
Yeah. Well, show me one show, pre-recorded or live, that doesn't go off on a tangent at some point. It just happens. We're human.
Every show I'm on goes off a tangent because I
Yeah.
started a lot of times.
This is Tangent City. This is all Tangent City in here.
See, we're bad for this then together. We
No,
shouldn't be
we're the
doing
best
this.
for it because we go off on such amazing tangents.
I saw so on the Star Wars report, at one point I remember seeing like a review on iTunes or something where somebody said, they were listening and they didn't know when we would start talking about Star Wars because we were going off on some tangent or something. I don't know.
You know,
I'm
some
not saying
people. I'm
whatever.
sorry. Go ahead. Yeah.
No.
I'm just saying if you want to listen to someone talking only about Star Wars and never showing any personality or talking about anything outside of that, you are going to have a difficult time finding that podcast
Well,
because we
yeah.
are human.
Well, there's different types. See, the thing is, if you're gonna listen to a Star Trek podcast, most people, I would think, they go to a Star Trek podcast because, of course, they want to hear about Star Trek and not just like what did you have for breakfast either. They want to get down and dirty into like learning something that they didn't know about Star Trek or some insight that they didn't think about or whatever. But there's so many out there that can do that stuff that sometimes, I kind of like to listen to people talk just like I want to get to know them and
Exactly.
they're Star Trek fans. So when I tune in, yeah, I want to hear them talk about Star Trek. But, if they found a good hamburger joint and that really made their day, go ahead and tell me about it. Because,
Yeah.
if I'm in that city, I might go to that hamburger joint too. You know what? And if when I'm in California, come on, let's go In-N-Out Burger together because I'm always going. Because now I'm craving burgers.
Oh, burgers. We have
So,
In-N-Out here now, finally.
okay, I'm coming to see you. I haven't been to Salt Lake City in like hardly forever.
Well, definitely since well before you knew me. So,
Yes. Oh no. Yeah. I need to get there.
yeah,
So,
come on down. Come on down. It's
yeah.
all nice and wet right now.
It sounds great.
Yeah,
But yeah,
it's snowing.
my biggest my favorite food, not that anybody asked, is hamburgers. I can eat
Mm.
a burger every day. Like when I travel, when I check in my hotel room, if I'm thinking about room service, I'm thinking of a burger. But I try not to all the time because I shouldn't be eating hamburgers every day. When I go to a restaurant, I don't care how nice it is. If a burger's on the menu, I'm like, I'm not saying I order it, but I'm thinking, oh, I'd really like to get a burger. And I'm like, no, I don't begin burgers everywhere I go, but I always have to think about that. And then here's what's so interesting. I do so many dinners with like clients and people like whatever. And even though I'm not ordering a burger, there's usually someone who does. And then I have to watch them eat
And
that burger with those truffle fries. Oh my gosh, that's
mm.
my weakness right now is truffle fries. I was with somebody yesterday who ordered truffle fries and I started eating them off their plate because I love truffle fries.
Did they slap your hand?
No, he was like, "Oh, there's so many, I can't even all go. Oh, help yourself." Because I usually don't eat off people's plates, but I didn't order fries. I was trying to be good, but I truffle fries, man, that's my weakness. And truffle popcorn. Oh my gosh, don't even.
I'm learning so much about you that I
Oh my
didn't know.
gosh, truffle popcorn, so good. Oh my gosh, there's a place in Atlanta that I go to, and sometimes they have it on the menu, sometimes they don't. But even if it's not on the menu, you can still order it. Like they'll make it. Trying to remember the name of the place right now. It's escaping me. But anyway, because I don't know if anybody's listening from Atlanta, but I can look it up real quick if I needed to. But yeah, truffle popcorn. Oh yeah. Oh, it's called Three. Wait, three's in the name. Three. What was I can't remember now.
You say 3, I wanna say amigos. I'm sorry.
The Three Amigos. Oh,
Sorry.
what's
It's
your
just
favorite thing to eat?
Oh, that is difficult for me to say because I like so many things. So many things that I couldn't even narrow it down to a favorite grouping of foods because I just really love food. I mean, look at
Yes.
me. But
Look, I mean, I'm like, I gain. Yeah. I went to the doctor and she's like, "Oh, you've gained weight. You lost last time you were here. Now you gained." I'm like, she goes, "Why?" I'm like, "Because I'm eating. I
yes,
can't help
eating
it.
food.
I
It's
love it."
necessary. Food is necessary for our continued existence. So, but I do love a good burger,
Oh
and
gosh, yes.
gosh, how many years ago was it? Probably 6, 7 years ago. Was it that long? We started getting Five Guys, and then 2 or 3 years ago, we started getting In-N-Out. So now we have,
Mm.
like, a embarrassment of riches when it comes to burger places that we can go to. And, it's lovely because we live in a city big enough that they have all of these places,
Oh
so
yeah, In and
without
Out's
it
so
being
good.
Salt Lake City,
I
so
love In and Out. I know there's a debate, kind of. It's almost like an East Coast West Coast debate, but In and Out versus Five Guys. I It's like what we're talking about short treks when you're like, I don't want to have to choose. I don't want to have to choose. I love them both. Give me a Five Guys, give me an In and Out. I'm happy. Shake Shack, yeah, bring it on. I love those fries. Have you had the fries at Shake Shack? Have you been to one of those?
we don't have Shake Shack.
They're not everywhere yet. They're getting there. I'm starting to see them pop up more and more. But their fries are like the crinkle fries, but they're so crinkly that they're just crispy. Oh, but they're not
Yeah.
truffle. You put boy, if they made truffle ones, maybe they do. But if they had truffle Shake Shack fries, oh my gosh, I'd lose it. Oh, steak
Well,
and
here
shake. Yes, Chrissy. Yes, I do like a steak and shake. Yes, bring that on.
Yeah, we don't have that either. I will say that if I break it down by level of enjoyment, I do enjoy Five Guys more because their fries are better. I don't really care very much for In-N-Out's fries.
I'm with you. I'll take Five Guys fries over In-N-Out fries any day. In-N-Out
With
fries are
fry
weird.
sauce!
Yes.
Fry sauce! Fry sauce.
Fry sauce. I still have my fry sauce.
Oh, do you?
Yes, that you told me about. I ordered it. I probably have maybe third of a bottle left of it.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm doing, and I don't use it just for fries. Like I put it on. I made a chicken sandwich the other day. I put it on that. Yeah, it's good.
Mhm.
Like it. I'm in. I'm in.
Yeah.
Culver's. If anybody's in Wisconsin, go to Culver's. I'm talking like fast food burgers now. Okay, Culver's. Those are good, really good burgers. Like yeah, that's a Wisconsin thing, but they're expanding out too. What do you have?
We have a Culver's.
Yeah, okay, we just got one here too. But I've
Yeah.
had them in Wisconsin. They're like everywhere up there. But you got have you been to it?
Yes, I have. And I do like the burgers.
Yes, those are good. What else is good?
My favorite restaurant, I would have to say, is a little hole in the wall local place called La Puente.
Mm.
And they make the best authentic Mexican food that I have ever had.
Mexican's another huge favorite of mine.
Oh yeah. They make these smothered burritos that are so good. They're so good. Their chili verde is like no one else's. And I've been going there. My mom was the first person who went there, and then she inducted all of us into the obsession. And so it's been like, good Lord, almost 30 years since we'd been frequenting that restaurant. The original one that we used to go to was in Salt Lake, and it burned down. But now they have locations in Centerville where my mom lives, and they have one in Ogden where I live, and they have one in between in Layton. So these city names mean nothing to anyone outside of Utah. But we actually got takeaway from La Puente last night because I knew that Dave was not going to have time to cook anything. And besides, it was a reward for the really hard day that I did yesterday. And it is just always so good. I'm salivating right now just talking about it.
Oh, I love Mexican. My favorite Mexican place in Atlanta, where I live, is La Paria. And there's several of those around. And it's not just the food. I think the food's really good. I will say I've probably been to some Mexican places that are a little more authentic, and maybe the food's about the same, if not even maybe a little better. But their service, like every time I go, the staff there is just like top notch. Like I've never been disappointed. I've never had an experience where I'm like, oh, where's our waiter? Or why can't I get the bill? Or oh, they messed up the order. Like they're on top of everything. So that's another reason why I really like them. I see Son of a Red Shirt mentions Tim Hortons. Okay. I don't have Tim Hortons here, but I've been to Canada and been to Tim Hortons, and there's some still in the United States. And now I'm craving donuts because you said Tim Hortons.
We have a Krispy Kreme.
I like Krispy Kreme. Yes.
Mhm.
I don't know about Harvey's. You mentioned that, Son of a Red Shirt. I'm not familiar with Harvey's, I don't think.
I've heard of it, but I'm not familiar with it.
I'll have to
If
check that
makes
out
any
sometime.
sense.
So, yeah. Steak and Shakes are typically more East Coast US, more, I think, in the Midwest, and mostly found in the Midwest. They're found in other places, but I think they're based out of like Ohio or something in that area. And so you'll find more of them around. But like here in Atlanta, we do have Steak and Shakes around. And I see them mostly on the East Coast. So I travel a lot in the United States. So I'm always checking out, the joints.
The burgers.
It's like, oh, what a burger. I must be like in Texas or something right now. Or, hey, there's an In-N-Out. I'm probably on the West Coast right now.
Or maybe you're in Utah. You don't know. We got stuff now.
I used to work when I was in my first year in college, briefly, I made burgers in Roy Rogers. Those were primarily in the Northeast. They eventually got bought out and closed down or whatever, but there's still a small chain of them in the DC metro area of Roy Rogers, and off some turnpike exits in like Pennsylvania and New York and New Jersey or something. But
Wow.
yeah. And I was also known for making the best fried chicken in our Roy Rogers too, from the regional
Ooh.
manager. I'll never forget. He saw my chicken on display and he goes, "Who made this chicken? Who made this chicken?" I was like, "I did." He goes, "My God, son, that's the best fucking fried chicken I've ever seen." I thought I was in trouble at first. I was like, I did.
And yet you still raised your hand.
I did. I was like, I did. Like,
good
like,
for you. Oh my.
oh my. We should probably end this soon. Everybody's starting to drop out. Automated Joy's leaving now. So thank you for joining us there. And let's see what we got. I'm looking for an exercise. Here, you can do Jordy's visor pulls. Get those rubber bands going.
I've got to have this book.
You do your little sit up, your crunches, your Wesley crushers. And you can do reverse polarity Wesley crushers too. Now Rob Perlman, wait, he's got one in. He's in here. Wait, here he is. He's Yellow Alerts Armed and Readies. That's him right there. That's him.
Nice. Always put yourself in your own book. Always.
And I told him on the show, you'll hear it. It comes out on Sunday. I told him, I said, because I said, "You're in this book, aren't you?" He goes, "Well, yes, I am." And I said, "Well, I know exactly where you are." And I told him, he's like, "That's right." And I said, "Well, I know that because I also found him in Search for Spock." Because when I got the book, I bought it at Star Trek Las Vegas, and he was selling them, and he opened up to the big page. He goes, "Now I'm in there somewhere," and I found him. I said, "If I could find you in Search for Spock, I can find you in Body by Starfleet."
Absolutely. That's amazing.
So that's him.
Love it.
But yeah, we even have what do we have? I don't even know what this Borg assimilations. I'm not really sure. Like, I don't know. Look, even T'Pol is in here. She's doing 10 or more forwards. 10 forwards.
But wait, there wasn't a bar on Enterprise.
No, I don't know why they picked T'Pol for that. Well, so here's one that's kind of funny to me. Quark's bucket of Odo walks.
Oh,
You walk with the bucket. And it continues later with Kira's single arm bucket of Odo walks. We got Kira, and then she gets the buckets and she starts walking. So I asked Rob on the show, I like this exercise, but where do you get an Odo bucket? Like, I don't have one. So this one I thought was funny too. Vulcan side planks. This is Spock. And it's talking about keeping your balance. And the reason they use Spock is because he has to keep his balance between his Vulcan and human halves.
Oh, my word.
Anyway.
Dan just joined. Dan, we are done with the episode.
Oh my
already.
gosh.
We have just been BSing for 45 minutes.
We're just allowing everybody to join our BSing. We've stopped recording. We're just live on YouTube talking about whatever. And Dan, I'm showing them the book that we did.
And I am dying from an asthma attack from laughing so hard.
Tilly's in here. It's great. It's wonderful.
Yes.
So
I'm going to have that.
This is like you have to push like your butt out. It's called thrusters. And then you get your black alert jumps. There's a lot of good stuff in here. It's fun. I like it.
It is fun. It's adorable. I love it. I love it.
Oh wait, hold on.
Holding.
Oh, okay, good. I just had to make. I started thinking, oh my gosh, I don't remember what the embargo date was in that book. I can't be showing it until a certain date. But it was December 3rd, so we're good. That was a while ago. Oh, there's a picture of Rob. Not that you asked, but that's the guy that
Well,
did the book.
no, definitely show his picture.
Okay, I'll show it again. There. Where
Okay,
is it
do
there?
show it. Yeah, there we go.
There he is.
Good. Yeah. Nice.
As seen working out at cons and cruises across the country. Go to StarTrek.com and look for Body by Starfleet. He has a video on there of him doing exercises with a friend of his in their tights at STLV, this past STLV. Go watch it. It's funny. It's
of course.
It's supposed to be like kind of like an infomercial commercial thing.
Oh, that's amazing.
So, Dan, I'm glad you could join us 2 hours into the show.
Poor Dan. Well, you can always just go back to the beginning and watch it. It won't be live for you, but
yeah, you missed a lot of stuff.
So much stuff.
Yeah. We're talking about, possibly doing another live show for the next short tracks, since we're not, it won't be on Trek FM, but we still might do something for fun. You can join us.
Yeah.
We're going to be here all night. This is a telethon. We're trying to raise money.
Raise money for our new endeavor, which is not live, but live.
Yeah, we're gonna do a new podcast, so we're raising money for it. This is our telethon.
Yeah, this is our telethon to raise money for our podcast, because it takes a lot of time and effort to do this stuff. It's like it takes time out of our lives, and we do it just for the love of doing it and stuff like that. So we need to raise those funds, because honestly, we should be getting paid for this.
Well, we do.
We get paid
in a sense.
We get paid with love.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah.
It really is. We should do this like every Friday night. Well, maybe once a year.
Once a year? That's all I'm worth to you, huh? Okay.
Well, you got so many fantasy husbands. There's not enough room for me.
Okay. That's a totally different situation that does not intersect with this situation. So
look at this.
Back that truck up.
This is so fun because I'm doing a live show with you right now. Well, it's not really the live show, but I'm also editing the show.
Mm-hmm.
I'm now editing the episode that I'm on live at the moment.
That's so meta.
Right?
So meta.
So weird. I wish Tilly were here to freak out with me.
Oh, apparently Dave just jumped back in.
Oh, he jumped in right at the right time.
He probably could be like, yeah, I know who her fantasy husbands are.
Who? Wait.
No.
It's gotta be one of them is from the air.
I am not going to confirm or deny anything.
I bet you're a big David Tennant fan.
I do enjoy David Tennant quite a bit.
Oh,
got to meet him once, so.
Did you? I think I knew that maybe.
He's married with children, but that doesn't matter in fantasies. Anyway.
How's that Zachary Levi guy doing?
He's doing very well for himself. Very, very well. So
You've met him,
I have met
right?
him 3 times.
3
3 times I have
times.
met him. Yeah.
I met him
Each
once.
just once.
Um, I just remember because it was this, yeah, it was this past September, and my daughter wanted his autograph because he's in Shazam, and so we get up there and I'm just there with her, he signs and then he looks at me, he goes, "Well, hey, how are you doing? You're the dad, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." And this is at Dragon Con. He's like, "So what do you get? Do you like come Dragon Con?" Now you gotta remember, I've been doing Dragon Con for a while and I'm on panels and all this other stuff. And I was taking off this year because I was just kind of getting burnt out and I need to spend more time with my family. But I went one day just so she could see him and some other people or whatever. And he's like, "So do you come to Dragon Con every year?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he just started laughing. I'm like, "I'm sorry." He goes, "I love that answer. Do I come every year?" Yeah. Yeah. I'm really, I was like, "That's how I feel right now." Yeah. Mhm.
I love Zachary Levi. He's an excellent human
Oh, he
being.
was good. He was great. Yeah.
He's a really great person,
Yeah.
besides being just a lot of
And
fun.
tall. Like, I was
He is
surprised.
he is 6'4". You
Wow.
don't really get the sense of that because the things I've seen him in, there are tall people around him, so you don't really have an idea of how tall he really is. But I knew he was 6'4", but it's different when you're actually standing in front of him. It's like, oh, you are very tall.
So
I've had hugs. There have been
oh,
hugs.
I
Yeah,
didn't get a hug.
because well, that's because he wasn't allowed to do them this time around. But
Oh.
in the years past when I have met him, he has been an ambassador for Operation Smile, which is an organization that helps fix cleft palates for children. And,
Yeah.
so what he would do when he would go to a con is he would say, "Hey, kick in an extra $20 and you're guaranteed to get a hug." And so I'm like, "Oh,
Uh,
hell yeah, I'm kicking in an extra $20 to have that guy hug me, you betcha." So, yes,
hmm.
and it was worth every penny. He's a very good hugger. Very good hugger.
Very good hugger.
Yep,
Zachary Levi, the very good hugger.
yep. Definitely one of my fantasy husbands.
Boy, yeah, somehow I figured that one out.
It's no secret, really.
Well, at least you got a hug from him. That's pretty cool.
I did.
You know?
The first time I met him, it was actually on not Valentine's Day, it was St. Patrick's Day. That was his first time coming to FanX, and it was March 17th, 2017. So,
I want Alice Eve to give me a hug.
okay.
I'll give her $20.
Oh, that does not sound right.
No, for a charity like you were talking about.
Yeah, well,
Like,
that
unless
is
I'm the charity, I guess.
that is if she's offering such
Well,
a
yes.
particular deal.
I'm just saying if she were offering hugs for $20,
Mhm.
I'd give her, I'd give her 2 20s, one for each cheek to hug.
Right. Yeah, I've had a few hugs from celebrities. I'm a very huggable person, probably because I usually start crying at some point, and they feel bad for me. So so yeah, the first one
Now that
and
I want to see.
oh boy, no, you don't. You don't wanna see that. Ask Dave, it's very uncomfortable for the other people involved, but I can't help it. When I meet somebody that I really admire, I get emotional. That's just how I am.
If you met me in person, I'm not saying you
I
admire me, but if when you meet me in person, when, I'm gonna say when, would you
Mhm.
would you cry because you're
Yes,
finally meeting me? Really?
I absolutely would.
And if you met Dan, would you cry?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm getting a little misty just thinking about
I'm trying.
it.
Wow. Um, see, Dan's happy now, I can tell.
Well, Dan makes me happy, so it's all good.
That one day we all will meet each. Well, I've met Dan in person, but I'm saying the three of us will all meet at some point. I think we'll all be in the same room together at some point.
That would be a
STLV
lovely
more than
day.
likely, but
Nah,
so
not with a car payment.
STLV. Uh, yeah, that's the
Yeah,
problem. Yeah, that's a problem. It's the expense.
yes. Mhm.
Yeah.
That's my biggest obstacle. It's not anything else. It's the money. Because all the rest of the things I could arrange. It wouldn't be easy, but I could do it.
Yeah.
But the actual expense of it, because it's not just getting there, it's not just staying there, it's also the tickets to the convention and whatever autographs or photo ops I wanted and whatever else would cost money, it's like merchandise and stuff like that. And then there's food, gotta pay for food. So there are just so many expenses associated with it besides just getting there.
I'll
So
say this. If you go to STLV, there is an In-N-Out burger in Vegas. Actually, I think there might be two now. But I do know of one for sure. It's there at the link. I've been there many times. It's near Yard House where Amy Nelson usually likes to hang out because I see her there sometimes, just randomly. I walk into Yard House. There's Amy Nelson. No, we arrange it. Sorry. But if you're in Vegas, I will buy you a burger at In-N-Out.
Okay.
Even though you have In-N-Out where you are now, but I'm just saying, I'll buy. No, you know what? I'll even do better than that. It doesn't even have to be In-N-Out. I will buy you a burger because we
Okay.
talked about burgers. And if we can
Burgers.
find truffle fries, I'm buying you some of those too. And you know
Excellent.
what? I'm going to even do better than that. Dan's going to help pay for it too.
Well, Dan has to go. He doesn't know about any of this because he's got to get up at
No, he
3:30
doesn't even have
a.m.
to be there.
to
He just
catch the
sends me
plane.
half the money. No.
He can Venmo it to you.
Oh, Dan's leaving us right now. He says he's going to
Yeah.
watch The Mandalorian.
Well, no, he's scheduled his review of the episode, and he said it was such a good
Oh,
episode. And
yes.
and I haven't seen it yet, Dan.
Oh, he has to
So
get
you
up at
can just
3:30 in the morning. Yeah, he's going to I don't know if he wants me to say. He's going on what he's heading somewhere.
he's leaving on a jet plane.
He's
Don't
doing
know
something
when
fun.
he'll be back again.
He's doing fun.
Sorry.
Let me just say this. He's doing something so fun that the place he's going to, if he wanted to, he could go to In-N-Out Burger.
That's all I needed to know. Okay, I've been tasked though to not let you make promises for him. So
Okay. Okay. Darn.
he's he's going somewhere super fun. Holy cow! I'm so jealous.
Wait, did he say? I don't see that. Did he say?
It's a clue.
Oh.
Wink, wink.
Oh, yeah, I see that now. I see what he's. Yes.
Mhm,
That's where he's
mhm,
going. I was
mhm,
going to try to meet them there,
mhm.
but I'm not. I next week, Rise of Skywalker, Star
Yep.
Wars film. Tuesday, I will be at a press screening in Atlanta that afternoon. I'm very excited about that.
Smack you.
I have tickets again for Thursday at 5:00 at a fan event. I don't know what the fan event does. I've heard in the past they give you something like a little
Ooh.
takeaway thing, but the ticket to go, and this isn't in 3D or IMAX, it's just a regular screening, standard screening, a 5:00 show, Thursday premiere night called Fan Event. Ticket was $25. So that's what I'm
What?
saying. There's got to be something more to this than just
Mm.
you're going at 5:00.
There better be a collector's edition something that's
There's
like limited.
Well, because a friend of
Mm.
mine, Michael Morris, he does the Mando cast. I'm plugging that for him right now.
Plug.
He went to see Solo at these so-called fan events, and he got an extra prize or whatever they're handing out. It was the dice, the little dice, and he gave me the extra pair he has, and it's on my hanging from my rearview mirror in my car. So maybe it's
Nice.
something like that, a little thing like that. I don't know. And if it's not, I'll go, why did I pay $25 to come in? And I've already seen the movie.
Yeah, we don't get to see it till Saturday morning because I wanted to have luxury seats, and so that's why we're going at 8:40 in the morning on a Saturday.
Mm. I might be seeing it again Saturday morning with my family.
Oh, for heaven's sake!
I typically, when the Star Wars movies come out, what has happened recently is I see it at a press screening, then I see it opening night because I already buy the tickets in advance because I don't even know if I'm going to get to a press screening. So I go ahead and do the pre-order for opening
Yeah,
night. So I got that.
same.
But I'm going like it's always like on a Thursday night, and my kids have school the next day or whatever, and my wife works, all this stuff. And I usually go with Star Wars friends, whatever. So that's the first thing that's booked is opening night. But then the plan is my family wants to see the movie, so we'll typically see it on a Saturday, usually in the morning. It just all depends, but typically on a Saturday morning we'll go. But then if I get the press screen, that makes it the number 3 thing. So in 1 week I'll usually see it 3 times. But the press screening and just so happens the opening night screening are not in 3D or IMAX or anything like that. My kids and my wife do not like 3D and they don't like IMAX. They don't like Dolby theater sound. Like they want boring movie experiences.
They don't like Dolby Atmos?
No, I took them one time. I don't even remember what movie it was. And I remember when it ended, I said, "Hey, girls, that was great. Did you hear the sound? Could you feel the seats vibrate? Wasn't that great?" And they were like, "It was too loud. Never take us there again."
That's
No.
odd
I
because
know.
I know when something is too loud, and we went and saw Jumanji: The Next Level last night, and
Mhm.
there was actually our one of our local theaters is now doing this thing where instead of just showing all the commercials together and then showing all the previews together, they now alternate, so you never know when the frickin' movie's gonna actually start, and so you're like,
Ooh.
"Okay, wait, is this another commercial? Is this a commercial or is this a trailer? I can't tell!"
Oh.
So, it's very annoying, but this time there was this, like, 2-minute presentation about Dolby Atmos sound, and I'm just like,
Oh.
"Ugh."
It's
But
good.
it was very impressive.
It's good. I love it.
Oh, it's
Well,
good. I
so
do love
that's what I'm
that.
saying. So it's like the 3 times I'll see it next week, none of them are anything special like that. So I'll have to go a 4th time. And
Yeah.
this is usually happens every time. The Last Jedi, so this happens for all the movies. I'll go a 4th time and I'll go to like a 3D Dolby IMAX whatever thing, pay the extra and like go crazy because it's so big and glorious and sound is throwing me out of the seat. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Well, and the reason why we're going at the showing that we're going is because of the luxury seats, and when I say luxury seats, I'm talking, like, oversized recliners. I am
Yeah.
not talking about, like, AMC luxury seats. No, I am talking about true luxury seats. And also, that's the biggest theater that they have in the complex. So it's always where the new releases go. And that's also the one with the Dolby Atmos. So it's going to be super beautiful.
Mm, that sounds nice.
Yes, except for 8:40 in the morning. But oh, you're damn right I'm buying popcorn. I'm still gonna have
Will
popcorn.
they do that? Will they have it in the morning? Because I
Oh,
would
yeah.
too.
They
I would
absolutely
do
will.
that.
They
Ugh.
absolutely will. We've been to early movies before, and the whole eating complex is open. So,
Okay.
yeah, at least
Oh,
at this theater.
love popcorn. Not as much as I love hamburgers. Uh, Well, I was talking about truffle popcorn earlier. That is really, but I do love popcorn a lot. So
I do too, especially when it's just drowned in butter and salt. So,
yes. So here's the thing: we have a theater, and there's a chain of these around the country. It just opened up near my house. It's really close by, called CMX,
mhm.
and they're only. Well, I'm looking now just to verify because they just opened like this afternoon, and any showing after, and I haven't been there yet, but like you're saying, the big recliners, they have dine in, all that stuff. They're in under the age of 21 after 8 o'clock at night. So
Do
I'm
they serve
thinking,
alcohol?
yes, But okay, so like right now I'm looking at well, let me look at tomorrow. Oh no, wait, they do have okay, so maybe they have started doing more because they before they didn't have morning and afternoon, but now I'm seeing them because they have the Jumanji movie here at 10:30 tomorrow morning. So, but anyway, I do know that after 8 o'clock, yeah, it says 21 plus for all shows after 8 p.m. Proper ID required. In theater service ends at showtime,
Hmm,
and you must arrive 30 minutes before showtime for the and
interesting.
because it's in dining experience. I haven't been there, but I'm kind of interested checking that out. But I can't take the kids at night.
That's probably why they do that, is they don't want kids in those later shows.
Yeah, and I think that's great. Nothing against kids, but I'll tell you one thing. If I go to see Frozen 2, that's where I'm going to go because I don't want to have any kids screaming and whatever and all this stuff. And it's like, oh, it's just adults in here. I'll be able to listen to it.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was exactly what our viewing of Frozen 2 was, full of a theater with babies! Don't
Right.
bring a baby to the movies!
Oh, yeah. My daughters even go off about that. They don't like that.
Mm.
They're like, why
It
did they bring a baby? And it was rated R.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I've seen that before, but it's just like, you cannot expect a baby to be quiet for 2 hours or even an hour and a half. You just can't. It's a baby.
Mm-mm.
And so please do your fellow film goers a favor and get a sitter.
I remember. Well, okay. I remember. Speaking of sitter, I went to see the Return of the Jedi, the special edition in 1997. Now, of course, I'd seen the Return of the Jedi tons of times,
Of
but I'm
course.
going to see the special edition. And it was like in the afternoon or something on a weekday. I don't know why. Maybe I was supposed to be working and I snuck away. But anyway, I just remember there was like a woman who brought like 5 kids in with her, and I quickly started to figure out that she was babysitting them. And they sat near the front, and she allowed the kids to run up and down the aisle throughout the movie. You're like, they'd run by and scream, and I'm just like, you know what? Fine. I've seen this movie a million times. I'm just checking out to see the changes and stuff they made. But I thought this was any other movie I'd never seen, I would like leave and ask for my money back because it was so
No kidding.
distracting.
That's just not okay.
Yeah. Oh, let
That
him
is
run up and down the aisle. We're just here hang out. It's babysitting time. It's playtime. Mm-mm.
no.
No.
No, people paid money to go in there, and they
Right.
didn't pay money to go in there and listen and watch your kids run up and down.
Right.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I also do not pay, my money to go to a movie and listen to someone else's commentary about it. So, yeah, keep your comments to yourselves, people. If you can't whisper, then shut up completely. Ooh. Also, don't kick
Oh,
the back of my chair.
yes. I always get the kicker. I always leave
Mhm.
and I say to my kids and my wife, I'm like, was anybody kicking the back of your chair? No. I'm like, how come I always get the oof, kicking? Oof,
Yeah,
kick,
every
like
time.
there was a guy, we went to the theater the other day and reserved seats. So it wasn't like we could choose, but I mean, we're there early. There's a couple sitting in the row behind us, and he's got his legs propped up, like he's lounged back. It's not the the chairs, the recliners. That's what I'm trying to say. It
Mhm.
wasn't the reclining type thing, but he had his feet propped up on the chairs in front of him. And we're getting there and about to sit down, and his wife says, "Honey, take your feet down. They need to sit down there." And I'm like, she has to tell him that you have to take your feet down because people want to sit.
Mhm.
Like, what the heck? I tell you, the reserve seating thing, I kind of have mixed feelings about. In some ways, it's nice, but see, we were the type of people that we would get to the theater early to get a good seat. Now it's like I have to order tickets early to get a good seat. But the thing is, once you get there, we still get there, before the movie starts. I feel like it allows people to come in late because they know they have a seat. So what I start to see happen is people start coming in after the movie's starting more than I used to see. And it's just
Mhm.
like, and now you got the people, oh, excuse me, but after the movie starts. And one time it really bothered me. And this was a while ago because I remember it was like the first time I was on, second time I was on 602 Club. I went to see Mission Impossible Rogue Nation. And because I was going to do in 6 to 2 Club, and I got my reserved seat, and the movie starts. It's like, I don't know, 5-10 minutes into the movie. I mean, it's not like it just started. We're already into it, and this couple comes like up the steps, and they're standing near me. I've got an empty seat. I'm near the aisle, but one seat empty. They're standing there and they're like to each other, and I'm like, what are these people doing? Just shut up. I'm trying to watch the movie. All of a sudden, the guy comes over. He goes, excuse me, you're in our seats. And I was like, wait, no, he was saying something. He was like, oh, you. I was like, wait, what? He's like, oh, you're. I'm like, and I had to stand up and step over to where they were to say, I'm sorry, what? They're like, you're in our seat. I'm like, no, I'm in whatever row G, seat 2. And I look at, he shows me his ticket, and it says like J or I or whatever. Like, I'm like, no, you're 2 rows further up. He goes, no, those are ours. I'm like, no, this is G. This is row G. You're I. No. He kept saying, no, those are. I'm like, you know what? Fine, because I'm missing the movie. I don't want to be arguing about the seats. You know, like, come on. And that's why I was like, I don't know because then I had to go somewhere else. I could have gone to what was supposed to be their seats, but I didn't want their crappy seats. And I went and sat somewhere else, and I was like, for all I know, somebody's going to show up late again, and I'm in their seats, and then I have to move again. Thankfully, it didn't happen. But yeah, if you're going to do reserved seats, they should require people to be there before showtime. If you're not, then you have to have an usher bring you in.
Yeah, that will never fly here because no one here gets to anything on time ever. They run on what we call Mormon Standard Time, and they are always 10 to 20 minutes late to everything.
Wow.
And the thing is that with the big major theaters, as far as actual live performance theaters, we have a couple of those. Well, it used to just be the Capitol Theater, but that ended up being not able to. They couldn't do bigger shows there. Like, they couldn't do certain things like Wicked or, Hamilton or anything like that. They couldn't have done that at the Capitol Theater. And so they built an entirely new, amazing, state-of-the-art, beautiful theater where the seats are too narrow and the rows are too narrow. And it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. But those theaters, basically, you get until 10 minutes into the performance, and then the doors will stay closed until about 45 minutes through the first act. And if you show up late, you do not get in until that 45-minute mark. And you've just missed most of the first act.
Why?
And
Why
yet,
did they? I mean, yeah, go on.
yeah, people would still show up and get all kinds of miffed. And I was like, did you not read the information about your ticket when you bought it?
Right.
Because they outline that policy very blatantly, and yet people here will still show up 20 minutes late and just expect everyone to kowtow to them. So, but that's the nice part about the luxury rows at the Megarplex.
Oh, what's a Megarplex?
We go down to the Megarplex. It's our favorite theater, and we sit up in them luxury seats. Anyway, the rows are very deep, and the seats are in like twos. So there'll be like 2 seats together and 2 seats together, 2 seats together. And so even if someone in the row in front of you stands up, you can still see the movie. So that's my favorite place to sit.
Yes, I've been in one like that. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Studio
also,
Movie Grill is there's one like called that there. Yeah.
Also, no one can kick my chair
because
there is
the
a
wall.
Oh.
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah. Ooh, yeah. And you can get a burger, maybe too.
Yeah.
I gotta bring it back to that.
The burgers. Well, it's funny thing there, though you can't bring this food into the theater, but generally what we do after we've seen a movie is we go right across the street and get Five Guys. Because that's right across the street from the Megarplex.
Ooh, yeah. Love that. Oh, speaking of love that chicken from Popeyes too. Anyway,
We have those now too. Suddenly they just started popping up all over the place.
Poppin' Popeyes.
Yes.
Then the big chicken sandwich, making such a big deal at Popeyes about their chicken sandwich. I still have not had it, but it's a big deal. They sell out.
I've never been in.
I had Popeyes, not the sandwich, but the chicken recently at the airport.
Right.
I've had it before, but it was just that's the most recent. Was like 2 weeks ago. Was at the airport. I had some Popeyes. My brother loves Popeyes. I don't know why I'm telling you this, but my brother, he really loves Popeyes.
That's good.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Do you think anybody's watching anymore?
I think it says in YouTube right now there's 4 watching, but 2 of those could be us.
Yeah. I'm shocked that there's 2.
Actually, two. One could be you. One could be me. One could be the Trek FM account. No. Am I signed? No. I think there's who's okay. If in the chat, who's here? Tell us who's here. Because I do have to leave soon, but I'd like to know who stayed through this whole mess.
But this is actually what Bruce and I do when we're not on the air.
Right.
We just talk like this.
Yeah. There's times I think we should just record these and just put them out as podcasts, but Chris Jones would be like, "That's not Star Trek."
Nope. No.
Which he'd be. Oh, now we just added a person. Now it says 5 watching.
What?
Who just joined us? Okay, Son of a Red Shirt still here. I had a feeling you're still here. You're the last one to make a comment earlier. Son of a Red Shirt says hola.
¿Cómo está?
Should we do the rest of the show in Spanish?
I don't know enough Spanish to do that. I can read it really well, but I am not fluent in speaking it or understanding it.
I took 3 semesters of Spanish in college, and I do very well at saying things like quesadilla, taco, chimichanga. Wait, they're all food related. Yeah, that's about as good.
I wonder why.
I don't know. Enchilada.
I know the most important phrase for myself, which is "Donde está el baño?"
Oh, you need to go to the bathroom.
Where is the bathroom?
Yeah.
Because my kidneys work extra hard all the time, and there is so much pee coming out of me all the time. It's like it's a miracle if I can make it through a film without getting up to pee. It doesn't matter if I've not had anything to drink for like 2 or 3 hours. It doesn't matter. I will have to get up to pee.
Most of the time,
most
of the time my wife, she goes to I shouldn't be talking about this on the show, but most of the time she goes to the bathroom a lot more. Like, you're right. It's like we go movie theater, we're in the movies and she'll go before, but then sometime in the middle, she sometimes has to get up and go again. And I'm just like, but you just went. Like the other morning, I think it was last weekend, she got up, went to the bathroom, came back to bed. Half hour later, we both kind of woke up. But I woke up when she went. She came back. We fell back to sleep. Half hour later, we wake up. I start talking to her, and she gets up and she goes to the bathroom. I was like, okay, she just did that like a half hour ago because I remember waking up. She comes back, and we're talking. 10 minutes later, she goes again. I was like, how can you go to the bath? How can you pee that much? She's not drinking anything. She's been sleeping the whole time.
Well,
do you do that?
She's got, oh yeah. She's got very efficient kidneys. I can tell you that because I have the same problem.
Wow.
And I used to think that it was just something that was a defect in me, that because I always had to go more than anyone else in the family. And it was about probably 10 years ago or maybe more that I was getting a physical done, and my doctor was going over my numbers, and he says, and you have really excellent kidney function.
Oh,
And
wow.
I said, "Oh, is that what we're calling it? Because I call it a big fat interference into my life."
Mhm.
So, yeah, because
That's not fun.
I never know when it's going to be one of those things where I haven't had that much to drink. My kidneys have decided that it's going to fill my bladder past capacity, uh, every 5 minutes for the next half hour. I never know. I never know. And there
Yeah.
was a time where I had a whole big drink. And actually, that was during Endgame, when we were watching Endgame. I had a big drink, and I had a giant Kit Kat, and I did not get up to pee, and that movie was over 3 hours
How is
long.
that possible if you're drinking a big drink and you pee all the time and you're in a
That's I
3-hour movie?
don't know!
That's
I
weird.
don't know, because there's no pattern to it. It doesn't matter what I drink, it doesn't matter when I drink. I never know. So,
Maybe Thanos, like, did this and your pee just kinda went away.
maybe. Maybe he just snapped my pee out of existence. Right out of my bladder.
That's what he's good for.
Well, he's gotta be good for something.
Yes. Yeah, yeah, no, I don't have that problem, but the problem I have is, coffee. Like, if I drink coffee, caffeinated, of course, it's soon after that, I really have to go. So, I never understand, like, it drives me crazy when I see people like, like we're getting on the plane and they're all getting their Starbucks, or, like I've traveled with people, we're doing a road trip and they're like, oh, well, let's grab some coffee before we hit the road. And I'm like, no, because I'm going to be stopping at every freaking, rest stop because I'm going to have to pee a lot. So when I'm at work, everybody's grabbing a cup of coffee and we're going to a meeting. Then we got a meeting after that. And I'm like, no, because I'm going to have to get up in the meeting and pee. I don't know how they, like, for me, like, yeah, like Thanos. Like I have to go like that in the snap after. I don't know how people drink coffee and not have to run to the bathroom because I do.
Yeah. And for me, it just doesn't matter what liquid it is. And sometimes it's, like, normal, like everybody else. I remember our first road trip that we took to Las Vegas, Dave and I. What was that, 2007? Yeah, I think that was 2007. We made it as far as Cedar City, which was probably about a 4-hour drive, and then we stopped there and we just went to the closest place, which was a McDonald's, and we grabbed
Mhm.
something to eat because I'm hypoglycemic, so I gotta eat, like, every 4 hours or I become a very mean person. And
Mm.
that, I had something to drink, and I made sure that I peed when I got there, and I made sure that I peed before I left, but when I was in the bathroom, that's when I saw the end of the world. So the end of the universe is in a bathroom in a McDonald's in Cedar City, because I went into the bathroom and there was a television over the sinks. But that turned
Really?
Oh, yeah. It turns out that that wasn't actually the end of the universe, because I came out of the bathroom and I said to Dave, "I I just saw the end of the universe," and he said, "Why?" And I said, "Because there is a bathroom over the sinks in the women's restroom." He says, "No, I can do
The
you one
TV.
better." Yeah, there's a TV in the sinks
Yeah.
over in the bathroom over the sinks, sorry. And so he says, "No, I can do you one better. In the men's room, it's over the urinals."
Oh, well, I've seen that. Yes.
Yeah, but we had never. So that's where the end of the world is. End of the world and the universe.
So,
McDonald's bathroom.
speaking of your kidneys, son of a red shirt says, well, he says dog, but I think he meant dog. Doc gave me a pill and I grew a
And
new
I grew
kidney.
Doc gave me a pill and I grew a new kidney. Fully functional, fully functional.
I love that scene.
Oh, it's a great scene. Great scene.
Uh, all right. I do have to go because I have to finish editing this shit where I have to like unplug these to plug into the thing to make sure I hear it right. So,
Yeah, I totally
um,
get
by the way, someone told me something and now I've realized it's true. And I'm going to throw this out here. I'm sure this has never been discussed here on Trek FM before, but it's related to the peeing discussion. But if you eat asparagus, it makes your urine smell.
Yeah, I know that.
I didn't know that. I never realized that until there was a conversation with people telling me that, and now I've noticed that, which means I've had asparagus. So
Garlic will do the same.
I had that doesn't. I had well anyway.
Depends on the amount. But
Yes, I love garlic,
I do too.
but you know what I like better? Truffle
Truffles.
popcorn.
Truffle. I was gonna say something with truffles.
I like garlic popcorn too, but truffle popcorn. Oh yeah, truffle fries too. Oh my gosh. Ugh. Sorry, I'm so
No.
hungry right now.
Well, then finish your editing and get something to eat.
Yeah, it's 11:30 at night where I am.
It's only 9:30 at night where I am.
See, that's what sucks. I'm gonna say this because no one's listening except for Son of a Red Shirt. But but here's the thing. On the Trek FM network, seems like so many of my co-hosts are like Mountain Time or Pacific Time. So it's like, we do podcasts a lot of times we record on a weeknight, and then I'm like, oh, we're done. Oh my gosh, it's midnight. I gotta go to bed because I gotta get up early in the morning. And they're like, oh yeah, it's only 9 o'clock where I am. And I just
Yeah, well, 9:30 is my bedtime on a weeknight. So, because I get up
What
at
time?
4:30 in the morning.
Oh, yeah, that sucks. 4:30. What time do you get home from work?
Depends on how bad the commute is. It can be
Oof.
anywhere from about 4:45 to 5:15.
Yeah. Well, that's not too bad, I guess. But
Yeah,
still.
well, that's me leaving work at 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What time do you have to be at work?
Depends on the day. Sometimes it's 8 o'clock, sometimes it's 9 o'clock. But the thing is, I have to get up at 4:30 in the morning to take Dave to work because we only have one car.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I remember you telling me that. Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't mind doing that because I love my husband and want him to be safe. And he keeps saying that he can take the bus. And I'm like, you are not taking the bus at 4:30 in the morning. And besides that, the schedule would be wrong and you would have to leave so early just to get there because he works at 5 a.m. And it's a 10-minute drive. So I get up and I take him to
Oh,
work
yeah. That's not bad.
because he's my honey.
I mean, really, you could get like a horse and buggy for him.
No, no.
He gets a
We don't do horse and buggy in Ogden anymore because it's bad for the horses.
Yeah. Are the horses there Mormon?
Horses don't have a religion that I am aware of, but since I
Oh.
don't speak horse, I cannot say that with complete certainty.
Did I ever tell you the story about my wife, how she refers to people in the neighborhood, that our own
Oh,
neighborhood?
yes, you did tell me
Yeah,
that
she's like,
story.
oh, the Mormons. She kept referring to the and she'll always like refer to people, oh, like the Swedish people or what, like because they're from Sweden. Or what. It was always stuff like that. And then she was talking about the Germans. Oh, the Germans, and I'm like, why are they from Germany or they just descendants from Germany? Why you call them the Germans? Oh no, that's their last name, German.
Yes.
For the longest time, I'm like, I guess they're from Germany. I don't know. The German.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
All right. Well, that
Oh.
ends today's show. Unless you have something else.
Oh, I forgot to say we never answered Son of a Red Shirt. Yes, that was Star Trek 4. The
What?
voyage home
What?
that line comes from. Because
Oh.
he said, random Trek trivia, which film is that from?
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah. I
what it's
see that
from.
now. Yeah, yeah,
Star
yeah.
Trek 4.
That's right. Star Trek 4: The Voyage Home.
How's the patient, Doc? Oh, he's gonna make it. You came in with a she. One little mistake.
That is a good movie.
It is. It's a feel-good movie.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, I like it. It's the last It's the last Star Trek movie I ever saw with my parents and my brother when it came out. But well, yeah, that was the last as a family we went to see Star Trek 4. I saw Star Trek 5 by myself. I saw Star Trek 6 with my brother. He did go with me to that. And then after that, it's always been me with my friends or whatever. And now my wife, and yeah. I don't know why I'm saying that. It's just I'm thinking about. Every time I think, a lot of times when I think of Star Trek 4, I somehow remember going with my parents and my brother. I just always seem to remember that. And then when my next thought is that's the last time I went with all of them.
Mhm.
I don't think my parents have seen a Star Trek movie since then.
Yeah, we went as a family through all of the original series movies. So all the way up through 6, and I'm pretty sure we went to Generations together. If
Mm,
it wasn't all of us, then it was definitely me and my parents, but I can't remember what year that was, so my older sister might have been married by then, and my younger sister might have moved out, so it might have just been me and the parents, but
mm.
we still all see all the Trek stuff, 'cause Trek. See, I brought it back around to Trek. Are you happy?
There you go. Oh, look. A Tong just joined the chat. We've been here for 2.5 hours. We were
Yep.
supposed to be off for like an hour and a half ago. We're just hanging out, but we're getting ready to go. But you can like when we're done, this will be on YouTube. You can like watch the whole thing if you wanted to, or wait till the audio podcast. But a lot of this extra stuff isn't going to be in the audio podcast. That's what I have to do now is finish the light editing that I do to it to make sure it sounds good and has the stuff at the beginning, the boom, 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 whatever the music, whatever. I found that music online the other day.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, now I know where Chris got that song. I just found it. It was
Very nice.
I forget the website, but yeah, I found it the other day. I wasn't looking for it, just happened to run into it.
That's good.
You were crying over the Expanse season 4 finale.
Oh, for the love of God, I haven't even started it yet. Do not come in here with that. It dropped today.
Well, it wasn't like there's no like spoiler in that. Just
Yeah, but see, I don't want to know. Do you know how many things that have come out on streaming services in the last 2 weeks that I have been waiting for, and they're all coming out at the same freaking time? Why?
and here I'm
Stagger
taking up
them,
all your
please.
time here just hanging out when you could be watching that.
Well, Mandalorian's next, so
Yeah, you got to go watch that too. Yeah.
yeah.
Why
Yeah.
are you hanging out with me?
Because I love you, man.
Oh. Love you too.
Aw. And Dan loves us both. He said so in the chat.
He did. You know why he said that?
'Cause you had a gun to his head?
No. He's getting married this summer. He's want some
Yeah.
good wedding presents. That's why I think he's kissing up
Right.
to everybody. He's not really a nice guy. He's just, he's like, I'm going to take advantage of this opportunity to get stuff.
Mm. Yeah, I'm sure that's exactly what he was thinking because
That's why
that
Matt
guy.
That's why Matt Rushing left literary tracks.
We now have our answer. The answer we never knew we wanted.
That's right. Matt's like, I'm out of here. Bruce, you're filling in now. I can't take this guy. He's mean.
Oh my goodness.
No. Dan's the nicest guy.
He is. He's adorable.
Adorable. I was like, what? How did you describe him earlier? That was it. You said adorable.
Adorable. I adore him. Therefore, he is adorable.
Yes. Adorable Dan. That's his new nickname. You know what? I'm going to do that next literary treks because we take turns, lead hosting.
Right.
And yeah, I'm doing the next one. So the next time we record, I'm going to say, welcome everyone to Literary Treks. This is episode number 293. Oh, 293. Number 293. We are your official Star Trek books and comics podcast here on the Trek FM network. And with me, as he always is the adorable Dan. I'm not even going to say Gunther. I'm going to say it's adorable Dan. Dan, adorable Dan, how are you doing?
I can't wait.
Wait, I have to make a note. This is my cheat sheet for shows. So I'm
there you go. Or you could just shorten it to Adore Dan.
Adore Dan. It's Adora Dan. I'll say it's the Adorable Dan Gunther, also known as Adoradan. How are you doing, Adoradan?
Nice. I want to hear that.
So the
Or
next,
either one. I want to hear either one. I don't care.
so for those who are not listening, the literary treks that we're releasing, the first literary treks of 2020, we're going to be doing the book A Singular Destiny by Keith R.A. DeCandido, which reminds me, I gotta see if he wants to come on and talk about that book.
Nice.
So we're trying to wrap up the remaining books of the post Nemesis series, because when Literary Trek started, it was like in the middle of the post Nemesis books. So now we've gone back and done the earlier books, and so that one and losing the peace, those are the last two, and then we're done. So there you go. Yep, we're already planning out the 2020 schedule for the whole year.
Of course you are, because you've got to. You've got to have time for all this stuff. You got to know how much time you need to read.
That is true. And the problem becomes people say, well, what about this and what about that? And I'm always, oh yeah, I want to do that. Oh yeah. And I'm like, oh no, now there's too many to do. But before we got on to do the live show, I was watching the finale of The Expanse. And
you son of a mother, let's go. Back away now.
I was crying. Really oh, especially when
yeah, go on.
Especially when the dude
name one character. Name one character from The Expanse. Go ahead.
John.
Nope.
Yeah, John. Well, he's a background character in this episode.
Nope.
He's never been on it. He's a new character. Like,
don't even try that with me. You don't know.
No, no, John and Mike. Right?
No.
There's a Mike. Yes.
No.
Well, because you haven't seen this episode. That's the thing. Because they're in this. They're new characters. They're going to be carrying over.
They're new characters in the season finale.
Yeah, because they're introducing them in the season finale. There's a cliffhanger that's going into season 5. And these characters are big presence in this. Yeah.
Oh, I'm dying.
It's pretty scary.
Because I'm breathing.
I'll let you calm down.
Okay.
And then there's who did I say then? Mike. Yes. John and Mike. They're in this. They're towards the end. I won't tell you how it ends though. I'll keep that a secret.
Oh, sure.
Because I don't want you to know how it ends. Yeah, see, look, A Tong is mentioning Mike. See?
Just stop.
Mike is in this.
Uh-huh.
And John is like related to Alex.
Just stop.
And okay.
Yeah, name the female character. Name the
female character.
Name the 3 main female characters. No.
What?
Whatever you say is going to be wrong.
No. Blanche, Dorothy, and Rose.
They're not the Golden Girls.
Oh wait, we're talking about The Expanse. Sorry, I got my shows confused for a moment there. I'm gonna give me initial of one of them because I'm kind of brain dead right now.
B.
I said Blanche earlier, but that's not it, huh?
That's not it.
What's the last letter?
Nope.
Why?
No.
B.
Just admit you don't know anything about The Expanse.
Bobby.
You did it!
Well, I told you because I watched the episode.
You didn't.
Give me another. Give me another initial.
Oh, just stop. Please, I can't. I can't. I can't breathe now. My lungs are full of crap. I need my inhaler. Yes, I'm that nerdy. I have an inhaler. Because I have asthma. Sorry.
Yeah, it crosses over with Mad Men. Because of Jared Harris.
Jared Harris is amazing. I love that guy. He can do absolutely anything. Anything.
So what is like Bobby's last name Draper or something to
Oh,
make it
good
Mad
lord,
Men?
no. Oh,
Okay. What?
there's Dave with my inhaler.
Oh wow. This is a first. This is the first on Live from the Edge.
Stop it. Stop it. And that is how you actually use an inhaler, not how they portray it in movies and television.
Did I cause that to happen?
You did.
Oh
In
wow.
the best way.
Because I got Bobby right?
Well, just you've been building up. You've been making me laugh my butt off all night. So
Look,
there you go.
Atong says Bobby Draper from Mad Men is in The Expanse. I don't know. Give me another initial of the other females because I'm brain dead. I can't
Just
think of their
stop.
names.
Please stop.
Let me
Please
guess.
stop.
Naomi. I'm gonna edit a show. Hold on.
Yeah, I can breathe now.
Oh, good.
Tasty.
It's
Chemicals.
so tasty too, just like candy.
Mm-hmm. It's so furry. It tickles.
That's canon.
Is it?
It's so canon. Hold on. There we go. See, I'm already editing as we speak.
Yeah, and we should really probably stop this live portion of it.
I know, but just think about all the people who want to come back and listen to it someday. This is out there forever.
And ever.
I even talked about my job. My company could even come and listen to what I'm saying about them.
Well, I don't remember you saying anything bad, so
No, I just
whatever.
Can you hear?
Yes, I can hear it. Our very stilted opening.
Yes.
As if we were robots. Trying to pretend we were human.
That was fun though.
It was fun. It's always fun.
Oh, you're laughing on this part.
There's my cackling again. Where everybody has to take their earbuds out and go, oh, she's so loud.
I don't know where I should cut that off. Should I? Because I've got some of us in there talking about the Body by Starfleet thing. I don't remember talking about all this.
It was literally less than 3 hours ago.
Wow. I should cut it off earlier than that. I should have all the exercise stuff in here. Yeah, I thought we weren't recording that part. I thought we stopped recording.
Like nothing happened. And I'm just like,
I'll let you go. I need to finish this. I'll let everybody, son of a red shirt and Aton go too.
and Dave's obviously still watching because he brought me my inhaler.
That's true.
Love you, baby.
You know why he's watching? Because he can't wait for you to finish. he's like,
I'm waiting to watch The Mandalorian.
He's like, when are they going to be done?
Mandalorian, waiting.
Don't worry, this is the last live from the edge probably ever anyway, so.
Oh, don't you even put that in the universe, you jerk. No.
Look in the chat.
Oh.
Somebody in the chat loves you. I don't know if that's directed at you or me though.
Well, probably both of us. There.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'll let your wife go. I didn't mean to like keep her here, but she seemed to like just hanging out.
I do, because it's you.
Well, and I said he could join us, so I said that earlier.
Right?
I do remember saying that.
Yes, you did, and I don't get to talk to you as often as I get to talk to him, so.
Oh, thank goodness.
You don't like talking to me? Just kidding. Oh, I see how it is.
No.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I thought I was talking to Dan at this point. No. No, I thought I was talking to Matt Rushing, actually. Anyway.
Yes.
Hey, anybody who's listening right now, if you were ever in the Babel conference and you got a post deleted, it was probably Matt Rushing, but he's not doing that anymore because you people gave him a lot of flack. He was just enforcing the rules. Okay. And you burn out the policeman. Just saying. Hey, we're gonna end the show. It's gone on way too long.
Us in trouble.
Yes. Well, that's what my job is.
Oh, that's true.
Yep. I have to go finish rewatching The Expanse.
You son of a mother.
Because I want to see what happens with Bobby and Don Draper.
Yep.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
Okay. Bye.